Um, where can I see my Zoom? You all can hear me and listen me, right?
I can hear you and I can see your screen.
Okay, so I need to reduce this. No, I will be able to do it. I think. You can see my screen?
I can, yeah. Can you see it, Vidisha?
I don't see the screen. I see only Prabhuji.
Okay, so
No, I can see myself and you. So I've got to, but I don't see extra screen. No, I don't see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
now,
we see, but it's in slide forms. Yes, like 31, 32.
yes. So now let me just go here and say first play slideshow in window. Okay. I think you can see it now. Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet,
no.
Prabhuji. We only see you.
Oh, you only see me. Okay. So somehow that didn't work. Okay. Um, share screen. Let me just do play slideshow in window first, and then allow to share this window. Now you should see
Yeah,
my screen.
yes. Chapter 10, Opulence of the Absolute.
Okay, wonderful. So let's begin by praying to all the previous acharyas so that we can hear and listen, engage in this devotional service with gratitude to them, and so that we can enlighten ourselves and we can be purified. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणसिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे तृणादपि सुनिचैन तरोरिवा सहिष्णुना अमानेना मानदेन कीर्तनिया सदा हरि नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवय भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी शृण्वतं स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तनः हृदयन्तस्थो भद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सतां वासुदेवे भगवती भक्तियोगप्रयोजितः ज्ञानतीयशु वैराग्यं ज्ञानं च यद् अहेतुकं यस्यं वै श्रूयमानानं कृष्णे परमपुरुषे भक्तिरुत्पाद्यते पुंस शोकमोहभय अपः Okay, so last week I think we started the 10th chapter, the opulence of the absolute, and we could only finish few portions of it. So um, in this session, I will not ask you, do you remember anything from the past session? Because in this session, I'm trying to going to do an exercise where we are going to read the verses directly, because oftentimes students find it difficult to read the Sanskrit. So we will practice reading the verse directly in this session. So we'll need more time. And I also heard in the very beginning, Bidisha Mataji said it, the memory is a problem.
Yes,
And
Prabhu.
you were able to remember when you were young, but now you're not able to remember.
Yeah.
Um,
I used to get
yes,
accolades for that. So yes, that person
yes.
has gone now like put off a ladder.
Okay. So let me tell you something that happened in my own life. When I joined Krishna consciousness in a young age, at that time I was able to recite verses and I was able to memorize them. So I remembered few of these verses. So as the time passed by, many years passed by. I got married, I had children, and one fine day I opened the book and I was regretting very much that in the past I could remember everything, but now my memory is becoming very bad. Maybe I'm becoming old, and maybe now my memory will dwindle as the time passes by. It cannot be increased anymore. Then one fine day in the Bhaktivedanta manner, I was listening class in front of the Lord, and the speaker at that time, he spoke some amazing verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't remember what verse it was. I only remember that verse was speaking not to my body, it was speaking directly to my soul. And there was a moment of realization that no matter what, I must go back. I must rekindle my fire for remembering the verses, because they were the direct words of the Lord. Sanskrit is a, and we will see this in this chapter also, is a very special. It's not a language. It's a well, it's a language of poem, but basically, I went back and I started again reciting. And how I did, I started with Srimad Bhagavatam one, any words that I liked, any words of the Lord that really touched my heart, that really hit me hard. I said that I made a note that I will remember this and I will recite this. So until and unless I had recited that verse properly, I wouldn't move on to the next verse. And every time I moved on to the next verse, I recited the previous verse and then only I moved on to the next verse. And I did this every day for 1 year, 2 year, like that. So now those verses are second nature to me. And trust me, now my memory is even better than that I had in my young age. So it is a false statement that as you grow old, your memory is going to lose. The memory of non devotees goes down. The memory of devotees controlled by Krishna. If you spend time with Krishna, your memory increases. Specifically, you can see many of the great souls in our movement, they remember so much. Automatically, they remember because they have been practicing They have been reciting every morning. See, there are few responsibilities of brahmacharis and also for grihasthas. Is one of them is patan. Patan means that you have to recite every morning, spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes reciting something. And Pathan means to teach whatever you have recited. And you can only teach when you learn it properly. So it's very important. Of the two, it's very important to recite.
Mm.
So therefore, if you're thinking, oh, now I am older, now my memory is not going to be any improving, that is a misinformation pushed onto your brain by modern world possibly. But it's true fact that as you continue to recite, the brain throws new neurons and the new pathways are formed, and you become even and even more intelligent. Your memory becomes sharper, and the intelligence operates on memory. When the memory is very sharp, your intelligence is extremely sharp. It can immediately distinguish but when your memory is very weak, then your intelligence sometimes becomes confused, because you don't have memory, you don't have remembrance. Therefore, we stress so much on recitation of Sanskrit, we stress so much on reciting Bhagavad Gita. So I just wanted to make that point for you, Bidisha Mataji. So you get some
Thank you.
inspiration to continue in on your journey of recitation. It's not true that you're losing memory. Actually, you'll become a very, very sharp memoried person if you recite Sanskrit. Those who recite Sanskrit, it has been proven that they become more and more sharper, their memory increases. They could become very good in math. They become very good so the only problem is we don't have this conviction and we don't have time. If we have this conviction and if we do this experimentation, trust me, the rewards are amazing. They are amazing. And we will see that in today's session. Krishna actually mentions this in this chapter. So I'll begin this chapter, Vibhuti Yoga. This just to summarize, we only did first few verses. By contemplating the opulences or vibhutis of the Lord, one realizes that all creation is permeated by the divine energy of Lord. It purifies the heart and the mind of the devotee, and it removes all sins and miseries of one's life. This is what was told by Lord Shiva to Mother Parvati. Um, is who one anyone who listens to the teachings of Krishna in 10th chapter Vibhuti Yoga and meditates upon the divine manifestations revealed therein. So anything that Krishna is mentioning in this chapter, if you meditate, if you try to be in that situation and meditate on those, you will attain liberation, gain spiritual wisdom, and realize the eternal truth that Krishna is the Supreme Being. This chapter is key to ultimate knowledge and is the most sacred part of Bhagavad Gita, because in this chapter we have the four key verses: two verses on how the devotees actually worship Krishna, and two verses that such devotees who worship Krishna like this, how does Krishna reciprocate with them? So it's a very simple chapter where Krishna, he is the unknown, unknowable, and the source of all. And then there are Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita, those four key verses which I have requested you many times. Please memorize them. It's critically important. Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita is very, very important. It gives lot of joy to devotees, and it also gives purpose in life to devotees. Hmm. And then next verses again very important here. Arjun is for everyone's sake. Arjun is actually establishing the authority of Krishna. The next few verses from 19 to 42, Krishna is going to speak to Arjun about himself. And so that we understand that Krishna is not someone who is obsessed with himself, we have to understand verses 12 to 18, because here Arjun is really begging Krishna to tell about himself. Had Arjuna not done this, Krishna would have never explained about his vibhutis or his opulences. And here also, Krishna is just mentioning a very small, tiny, mini portion of his opulences. Similarly, Arjuna in chapter 2 requested Krishna that I am now a soul surrendered unto you. You please instruct me. You become my spiritual master. I am your Shishya, or I am your disciple. See, if Arjun didn't ask, then Krishna would have never said Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is not someone, oftentimes we as devotees are extremely pushy, right? We go to other people, we say, oh, learn this or do this or do this. No, here Krishna is waiting for Arjun to ask. He is in the meantime inspiring Arjun so that he comes to
Sorry,
a
Prabhu.
point. Yes, Prabhuji.
I raised my hand, but I don't know if you could see it. I'm
Yes.
sorry to disrupt the class, but I wasn't quite clear where you started from. I was lost at the very beginning.
Okay. I
Yeah.
started from 10th chapter, beginning of the 10th chapter, summarizing the 10th
Okay.
chapter.
Okay. And can you see if I raised my hand? Did you?
No, I have
You
put your I can see it, but it's on another screen. So you see my face is
okay.
tilted. So
Yeah. Yeah.
to see you both, I'll have to tilt my face. So I don't mind you interrupting me in the middle. I completely appreciate it.
I'm sorry, but I was lost. You started at chapter 10, and
Beginning of chapter 10th.
okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay. So you still see the key in front of you?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm summarizing. We only managed to do until 12. We only managed to do until 12 to 18 last session, where Arjuna accepts Krishna's supreme position, and then we are yet to go from 19 to 42. So before I go from 19 to 42, I'm summarizing so far what we have covered in 10th chapter.
Okay.
Okay. So so these verses 12 to 18, Arjuna accepts Krishna's position. Oh, now you don't see my screen, right?
No.
Okay, okay. Allow to share window. Share this window.
Yeah.
Now you see it.
Yes.
Okay. So now the screen is gone again, or you can see it?
No, I can still see it.
You can still see it. Okay. So in this chapter, Krishna is speaking to Arjun even more wonderful knowledge. So, ninth chapter, we heard about Rajavidya, or the most confidential knowledge. But in 10th chapter, Krishna is about to speak to Arjun even more wonderful knowledge. Why Krishna says so? Because in this chapter, Krishna is going to tell him about those four key verses, 8 to 11. Those verses are very important verses. So here Krishna is explaining even more wonderful knowledge. And the reason Krishna is telling is because my dear friend, you are filled with my love, Priya Manaya. That actually you are not just envious of me, non-envious of me. You are not. In previous chapter, Krishna told most confidential knowledge because Arjun was not envious of Krishna. So someone is not envious of Krishna. Krishna is willing to give them the most confidential knowledge. But here, even the more wonderful knowledge, Krishna is actually telling the four verses, the Chatur Shloki, and to Arjun is because actually Arjuna is filled with love for Krishna. So, and he's requesting, please listen. So, then Krishna begins explaining that I am unknowable actually. No one is equal to me or above me. No one can actually know me. Mental speculation can't understand, give you power to understand Krishna. Then who can understand Krishna? One can understand Krishna only by studying his words, his own words. If one doesn't study Krishna's own words, then one will not be able to understand Krishna. And his words are in these two scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Arjun says, actually, if someone knows me, then they will become free from all sins. And they will understand that I am actually the owner of all planetary systems, all universes. And, I am even beyond Brahma and Shiva. And Lord Shiva himself says that actually the giver of liberation is Krishna. Then Krishna explains that, look, I am actually the source of all qualities and personalities. So whatever personality you see, because in Arjuna's time, Arjuna has learned that there is Lord Brahma. Then from Brahma there are four sages, four Kumaras, Sanak, Sanatan, Sanat, Sananda, the four Kumaras. Then there is a Manu's created, and Manu's then progenite. So all of these things Arjuna had already heard about the seven great rishis, Sapta rishis, the powerful sages. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that actually I have created all of these systems. I have created, and all the qualities you see around yourself, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, all these great qualities I have created. I'm the source of all of them. One who is convinced of this opulences, they actually engage in my unalloyed devotional service. From here starts the four next verses, which are very, very pleasing. And Krishna is concluding that anyone who actually understands that I am the creator of this whole system, all the Kumaras, all the sages, Manus, everything comes from me, and all the qualities. If someone actually understands this in reality, in substance, in factuality, in tattva, then what happens is there is a transformation in that person. The fact that if we are not transforming, even after knowing that, we have to understand that we have not understood Krishna in tattva, in reality, in substance, in factuality. We have heard it, but has it become a fact? Maybe it has not become a fact. It has not crystallized in our hearts. But the day it crystallizes, what happens is we become completely fixed in engaging in unalloyed devotional service to Krishna. And then Krishna goes and speaks the famous Chatur Shloki Bhagavad Gita, which I will recite. It begins with telling Krishna what is his position, and how devotees, after knowing his position, worship him. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattab sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Such wise people lovingly worship me with their hearts. Matchita madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nitya tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So what do such devotees, how do they worship? With their minds absorbed in me, they were always listening about me. Shravanam, their lives fully devoted to my service. They are doing service, seva. And my pure devotees enlighten one each other. They are doing Shravanam and Kirtanam. by conversing about me, and thus they experience great satisfaction and bliss. And then Krishna says, when they do this kind of worship to me, then I then reciprocate with them. How? To those who are constantly engaged in serving me with love and devotion, I give them the necessary understanding by which they can come to me. So here we studied that, the ultimate goal is Krishna. The path is slowly but progressively traversed. So when a person knows the goal of life but is addicted to the fruits of his activities, he is acting in karma yoga.
What do you mean
But
by traversed? The path is
traverse means
slowly, but yeah.
slowly. Traverse means walking.
So
Living day to day life. Living day to day life is called traversing or traveling towards Krishna. So we have
okay.
ultimate goal Krishna. How we live our day to day life is slowly but progressively traversing the goal towards the goal. So when he knows that the goal is Krishna, but he takes pleasure in mental speculations to understand Krishna, one is acting in Gyan Yoga. So this is still Krishna is speaking about devotees. Sometimes devotees, they know about Krishna, they know the goal of life, but still they are very much addicted to the fruits of their actions. I'm doing this project, I'm creating this temple, I'm doing this, and actually instead of actually loving Krishna for that, somehow or other they are more attached to the actions themselves. I created this, I built this temple, I distributed so many books. If you hear this kind of a language, then essentially this is like a person who may be a devotee but attracted more towards karma yoga. Hmm? Then when he knows
Prabhu,
that the goal. Yes,
can
Prabhu.
I ask a question because it's directly related to me and my
Sure.
service in the temple?
Yes.
Everyone's going to be able to hear this, but still. Um, so, I mean, I don't think I'm attached to my service because it's a project, and I'm not happy with. I'm happy with how the project is going. It's progressively. It's moving forward in baby steps, and sometimes it stagnates. So I don't feel I'm attached in the way that you were just describing.
Hmm.
But it's still a form of attachment. Uh, but I'm not happy because it's not. Sometimes it stagnates. That doesn't make me happy, and it's
Hmm.
the
Hmm. Hmm.
goal I want. So that is also a form of attachment which we have to let go of, according to these words. But it's
Uh,
difficult. But it's not for my ego. It's not for that. I just really want something completed
yes.
properly.
That's it. You answered your question. If the day it becomes for your ego, that is when it becomes karma yoga. The day you are clear that no, I want to achieve this for Krishna, and you actually leave no stone unturned, meaning you actually endeavor, you make efforts, you are passionate about it. See, without passion, nothing can happen in this material world. So you have to be passionate. You have to be passionate for Krishna. And you have to show Krishna, Krishna, for you, I can become anything. I don't matter if it doesn't matter if I become like a sweeper, a cleaner, a temple president, a project coordinator, whatever. I have to become, I'll become for you, and I'm happy to be more passionate, and I'm happy to, but within the heart of the heart, the concentration, the focus, and meditation should be Krishna. This passion in service of Krishna is also present in spiritual world.
Yeah, I
It's,
agree.
it's,
I
it's,
agree. But um, I also have to recognize that I'm not constantly thinking about the Lord while I'm doing it. So,
and that is why it is called practice. This is what traversing the path means. Traversing the path means realizing where you lack, acknowledging your lackness, meditating on your lackness, finding ways and means to interject where you lack by actually talking about it, but not just talking on a daily basis, thinking, oh, I lack this, I have to do something about it. And today I will do this, an action plan. And tomorrow, again, you evaluate yourself how you failed or passed yesterday. And next morning, again, your plan starts. Today I will succeed. So, like this, over a period of time, over 28 days, you will pass, fail, but you will form a stronger habit. Then in next 28 days, you will become even more stronger. Then in next 28 days, that habit will solidify into a proper habit. And that habit, when retained through endeavor constantly over a period of a year, will become your nature. And that done over many years will become second nature to you.
Let's hope so. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hare Krishna. So then sometimes the devotees, we want to, we like to read scriptures and we want to recite shlokas, but the purpose of reciting shlokas is to actually present it to everyone and tell everyone that, oh, look, I am so much learned. I can tell Sanskrit, I can speak Sanskrit, I am a scholar, or actually to gain respect. Right? It's very easy to respect someone who can recite shlokas. But when someone is affected, when someone's ego is affected with this kind of, knowledge, not necessarily shlokas, but even the depiction of the knowledge. Oh, I'm so knowledgeable. I know this, and this, and so many things. Even the depiction of knowledge, when someone's ego is affected by this, that means the person may be a devotee, but actually is still affected or impacted by his background of Jnana Yoga, meaning they are affected by Jnana. Then Krishna says, and when he knows that the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service. So, someone who knows that the goal is Krishna and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness, meaning what? Meaning, someone seeking Krishna as the goal. They may be doing Jnana Yoga, they may be doing Karma Yoga, but they are dovetailing their egos, dovetailing their, I should not say egos, dovetailing their false egos and trying to purify them, their false ego, realizing that all of these activities I have to purify myself. I am doing this book distribution project or whatever, it's meant for my purification. So whenever we do activities, someone will shout at us, or someone will pick holes in our service, or someone will, and then we become very sad, we become very upset because you put so many hours of energy, effort, and then there are people who don't respond, there are people who don't come, there are people who don't attend, there are people who will say your project, you didn't do this, you missed that. So there will be people who will pick holes, and you'll be devastated on occasions because someone might come and someone senior might come and they might even chastise you for things that you're doing. That is called purification. But of course, no one likes no one likes medicine. Everyone likes chocolates, sweets. So you will like the people who tell sweet about you, glorify you, but you will naturally, the human tendency is the false ego tries to prevent anyone who tries to shatter it. And the whole process of Krishna consciousness is to actually dovetail your false ego. And once you start learning dovetailing your false ego and realizing that actually it is Krishna who is doing, and I am an instrument, and the instrument need not be any having any pride, false ego cultivation, then that becomes devotional service. Otherwise, it becomes feeding the bad dog. The feeding of bad dog will make the bad dog stronger or the false ego stronger. So after doing service, if you get any appreciation, offer it to spiritual master, pass it on to other devotees. After doing devotional service, if you get purification, someone chastises, picks holes, you have trouble, no good feedback, too many problems, then you realize that this is for my own purification, this is actually mercy of Krishna. So then you realize it, you accept it. Acceptance is the first step. And then you honestly analyze it. Whatever was said to you, whatever was directed at you, did it have hands and legs, and whether it was true or not true? If it is not true, you just accept it. Okay, this is someone said about me. There is no problem. In this way, my false ego will be trained. If something that they said is true, or they pointed is true, then there is some action that you need to take in improving whatever was told to you. And then you engage in this whole traversing the path, how you're going to rectify yourself, because the journey of a self-realized soul is internally situated. You are constantly rectifying yourself. There is a very good line which Vaisheshika Prabhu always mentions, and I love it. Whenever when I heard this first time, I could immediately connect with it. And the line says that I live to be corrected. I live to be corrected. This is one of the punchlines. He has many punchlines. That consider it can be done. To be positive, you always think that it can be done. But this line, it says that I live to be corrected. If you live by this motto, then you will be a happy person. No matter how many difficult situations come in your life, even the mountain falls, you will still be not completely devastated. You will come back to this knowledge, come back to this realization. So this is called cultivating Krishna consciousness and doing devotional service. And when you act in this way, where you're dovetailing your false ego, when you're fighting with your six enemies day in and day out, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsar, lust, greed, anger, envy, illusion, pride. Every day your focus is these six enemies, anarthas in your heart. Every day your focus is how to please Krishna, how to serve Krishna, how to make Krishna and his devotees happy. If that is your constant striving day to day activity, that's what your life is about, is striving to get rid of these six enemies, and to please Krishna and his devotees, sincere devotees, then that is called Krishna consciousness. That is acting in Bhakti Yoga, and that will actually lead you to a path of pure devotional service or Shuddha Bhakti.
Question.
Yes.
It's related to what you were saying. Why do they have so many different types of yoga? Why do they call it Buddhi yoga? Why don't they just keep it with Bhakti yoga?
Because, say for example, your name is Vijay Gaurang Prabhu, right? But
Yes.
if I'm your childhood friend, then I know you like this, how you met me in the childhood. Then supposedly you grow and you go to corporate culture, you work in the office, then someone knows you like Vijay in a different way. Your maybe you have maybe if you have children, the children will know you in a different way. You have a wife, the wife will knows you in a different way. The council, the state will know you in a different way. They will know that yes, he pays bills on time, he is a good neighbor. So the same person is actually known from the aspects of how people see it. So the same process,
So
which
they
is
could know me
bhakti.
as the good neighbor or the man across the street. You mean like this?
Exactly. That's like that. Like your friend might know you the naughty boy who troubled him all the time. Your class teacher might know you as a studious boy who always scored best in math. Your school may know you as a good head boy. Your corporate work colleague may know you someone who is like always helping other colleagues. So everyone will know a feature of you, and they will remember you by that feature. Similarly, the same word, the same process, bhakti, is known by the different qualities and features that it has. One of the features is someone doing the process uninterrupted. Uninterrupted means ananya. Anya means someone else, but ananya means without anything else, meaning uninterrupted. So that is so same process, bhakti or Shuddha Bhakti or pure devotional service is then called Ananya Bhakti, because one of the features of pure bhakti is you are uninterrupted. Then there is unmotivated. Similarly, there is,
How does
yes,
that relate to Buddhi yoga?
Buddhi Yoga. Yes, wonderful. So the reason it is called Buddhi Yoga is because when you actually become a pure devotee, at that, and even when you are in the process of becoming the pure devotee, your intelligence becomes very sharp, and your intelligence is driven and geared towards Krishna's pleasure, geared and driven towards Krishna pleasure. So what happens is you start to understand the subject matter, spiritual subject matter, in very deep sense, very very deep sense, in extreme details.
Is that a
And
word that is more known by devotees, by Vaishnavas or ISKCON devotees, or is it also known outside?
it's also known outside. Buddhi Yoga has been used in Bhagavad Gita specifically, and the word Buddhi Yoga is mostly used in chapters where Krishna is referring to devotion or first class devotional service or pure devotion. So therefore, if you want to become, see why you are here in this moment. The reason you are here is because you want to love Krishna, and you want to become a very good devotee of Krishna, and you want to give pleasure to Krishna, and you want to give pleasure to all the devotees of Krishna. Very very important, very very important. These are few things. So Krishna says sadhavam hridayam mayam, that sadhus, they stay in my heart, and I stay in the heart of the sadhus. So really, what do we want to become? We want to become a sadhu. And sadhus, they have very sharp intelligence and they are very pure in their nature. So their devotional service is constant, uninterrupted. And they are akinchana. They don't want anything else in their life. They may be poor beggars, but they are still pure devotees. So
So is it
akinchana.
correct? Is it correct to say they practice Buddhi yoga?
Yes.
Okay.
Pure devotional service is buddhi. In fact, Krishna in the 18th chapter says that anyone who has understood this matter of Bhagavad Gita has worshipped me with his intelligence, with his buddhi. So Krishna uses the word buddhi many times, specifically to refer to this conversation of Bhagavad Gita. So that's why
Okay,
many
thank you.
many words are used. Thank you. Thank you for the question. So then this is how Krishna explains that how I am going to reciprocate, that to show them special mercy, I dwelling in their hearts destroy the darkness born of ignorance with a shining lamp of knowledge. So Krishna will give you the knowledge. And when Krishna gives you knowledge, there will be no ignorance in your heart. So, there was, we discussed some of the things like Mayavadis, they claim the devotees are naive sentimentalists. And we were saying that no, we are not sentimentalists. And Krishna is confirming here we are not sentimentalists. We are telling that, that even someone who is not a literate person, who is illiterate, can actually worship God and can be a very pure devotee. Because Krishna has clearly said that those who are constantly devoted to serving with me with love, I will, dwelling in their hearts, I will show them very special mercy and I will dispel all their ignorance. So they may not have the knowledge of the material world, but they have full spiritual knowledge. And therefore, we are saying that even someone who is illiterate, you don't have to be super literate with PhD degrees, master's degrees to actually understand Krishna. In fact, a lot of the people who are super literate, they cast a lot of aspersions because they can't understand spiritual science because they are envious of Krishna. Oftentimes, not everyone, but a lot of them. So the only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. So if you are if you're going to the temple, do your devotional service and try to remember Krishna and do your devotional service sincerely. So and then now these set of verses, so first Krishna is telling about this wonderful knowledge itself, and now Krishna explains that how he is everything. So then Arjun is accepting whatever Krishna has just said. But how is Arjun accepting? Arjun is not saying that okay, I agree everything you said. Arjun is saying I agree everything you have said because I have heard the same thing from other very very respected authorities. So he's substantiating or backing up Krishna's statements with statements he had already studied with a lot of other people. So he's just not nodding his there. He's not a yes man for Krishna. He is a logical guy, and with his logic, he is referencing so many people that all the great people of his time and even people born before him have already substantiated that. And he's told Krishna that, look, no one can actually know you, O Krishna. I understand this fact now because others have also told me the same. Only unlimited can know unlimited. A limited person cannot know unlimited person. And because you are unlimited, until unless you tell me about yourself, I am not going to understand. So he's telling Krishna that only you know yourself, and he's basically he wants to know in what all forms you are manifest. Please tell me more, and no satiation in hearing about you. The more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. This is where we stopped. And Arjuna is especially asking about these opulences of Krishna's for a lot of impersonalists, because impersonalists, they don't want to accept the form of Krishna directly. They just want to understand the Lord in everything, like all pervading nature of the Lord. So therefore, Krishna Arjun is asking these questions on behalf of all people because Bhagavad Gita is book for all. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, you'll find Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and even impersonalism. But the clarity difference between impersonalism and Bhakti is very stark and very clear. Arjun will ask these questions in 12th chapter again with Krishna, and there also we'll see this. So
There's
then
also a
Krishna.
difference between, I'm sorry, there's also a difference, isn't there, between Mayavadis and impersonalists? Or
So
not?
Mayavadi is a broad category. And inside
Okay.
Mayavadi, there are different types of Mayavadis. One of them, they just don't want personal form of Krishna. They want to see Krishna as light.
Okay.
Then another Mayavadi is called, they are saying God doesn't exist at all. So they are like Shunyavadis. Then there is a
Okay.
category which says that okay, God is light, but he can take form also.
Okay.
So this is in plain language I'm explaining, but for
Yeah.
each of
No,
these
I'm happy
categories,
with plain language.
yeah, for each of these categories there is a word: Brahmavadi, Mayavadi, Shunyavadi, Nirakaravadi, meaning that God doesn't have a form. So one of them will say God doesn't have a form, God exists, but God doesn't have a form. Others will say that God may take a form, and but he's generally formless. Others may say that God doesn't exist, so they are like atheists and or Shunyavadis. Everything is for chemical. Then there is something called Nirgunavadi, meaning that God may have a form, may not have a form, but he definitely doesn't have any qualities or gunas. Okay, so Nirvishesha, and therefore these Nirgunas type, they are called Nirvishesha.
I've
You
heard Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi. Where have I heard that
Paschatya,
before?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Deshatarine, Paschyata Deshatarine. So that's the prayer from Prabhupada saying
Prabhupada.
like
Yeah. Exactly.
to help us. That like a
So these,
deeper ignorance over here in the Western countries. That is what he used to say.
so
In a
basically,
plain language again, like I'm not like articulating it in a normal language.
yes, Madhus, you're saying it right. Basically, Prabhupada's prayers is every acharya has got some prayers as a glorification for that acharya, and the glorification for Prabhupada is what is the prayer? Do you remember? Anyone can say? Recite that.
Namaste Saraswati Deve
Nama
Gauravani.
Om Vishnu Padaya
The
Krishna
first
Prishthaya
one.
Bhutale
Yeah.
Srimate
So,
Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani
Gauravani
Pracharine
Pracharine.
Gaura
Nirvi
Vani Pracharine. So he's
Gaura.
speaking about the words of Lord Gauranga, Nirvishesha, meaning
Shunyavadi.
impersonalist. The
Hmm.
ones who are, saying that God doesn't have any qualities. So Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi,
Shunyavadi.
the atheists.
Paschatya.
The atheist category contains the atheists and Buddhists. Nirvishesha, Shunyavadi, Paschatya Desha Tarine. So Paschatya Western. So basically, Prabhupada has come to deliver the Western world from Mayavadis, which general Mayavadis have categories: Brahmavadi, Nirakarvadi, Nirvisheshavadi. Okay, there is one class I gave in ISKCON London few years ago, Sunday morning class, and that class explains in detail the different categories of these Mayavadis. So you may go Google it and you may be able to find that class. It was, I think, 2-3 years ago. So sorry for the detour, but Prabhu asked a very good and interesting question, and every second verse Prabhupada is crushing Mayavadis in Bhagavad Gita purports. So whenever such a question comes, I become very excited because it's in the line of disciplic succession. It's in the line of Prabhupada's mood.
I feel uncomfortable disrupting the class all the time. Sorry.
No problem. It's okay. Good questions are always appreciated. So now Krishna gets into describing his vibhutis. See, now I can actually skim past this whole section with great speed and actually tell you that go and read directly from Bhagavad Gita. There is no point. But actually, if you go through this section and read this section, you will be overjoyed. You will be overjoyed. So this section, yes, it is for Mayavadis, it's for Nirakarvadis to get attracted to the Lord, but even devotees can remember Krishna in his form. Every time they come across these things or these entities, devotees can remember Krishna. It's an opportunity for devotees to remember the form of Krishna. So Krishna
Can you do?
begins with,
Could you do a couple of them? Couple of them at least.
no,
One or
I'm doing
two.
all of them. I,
Okay.
yeah, Krishna is very special. You can't skip him. So I'm doing all of them. So here we go. I'll try to do my best and see if we can do it in time. So Krishna says in 19th verse that my opulence is unlimited. So I'll tell you only the prominent ones, the ones of my splendorous manifestation. So his opulence, everything is Krishna basically. But now Krishna is going to tell you about something prominent ones. And by listening those prominent ones, you should try and remember Krishna even more. So Krishna begins with, I am the super soul in hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, middle, and the end. So creation, maintenance, and destruction of all living entities. Krishna begins with this, and trust me, Krishna ends with this also. So this one is critically important. So here, when he refers to the super soul, Krishna is referring to three guna avatars. Who are the three guna avatars? Three Purusha avatars. Three Purusha avatars is Mahavishnu, the original expansion from Lord Sankarshan, Mahavishnu. He actually creates all of the material universes, Mahavishnu. And because he is the creation of the all material, he is also called Karana. Karana, literal meaning is also reason. Reason for material universes. So this Mahavishnu is also called Karano Dakshai Vishnu. Karan means reason or the cause, the original cause of everything. So this is the first Vishnu incarnation from Sankarshan, and this is called Mahavishnu, and Mahavishnu is one of the super souls. Yeah, so he creates everything. Then this Mahavishnu enters into every universe, and this universe is considered like a womb, where all the planets are created. Like from the womb the children are born, similarly this universe is understood as a womb from where all the universes are created. So this Mahavishnu womb in Sanskrit is called Garbha. So this second Vishnu is called Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. So then this Vishnu who is in the Garbha, he says, okay, I will create this unlimited universes in this creation. So there are many, many Garbhodakshai. There is only one Mahavishnu, but there are many, many Garbhodakshai Vishnus, unlimited Garbhodakshai Vishnus. And each of those unlimited Garbhodakshai Vishnus, they create unlimited universes. Each of them. Within unlimited universes are unlimited planets. Okay, and in each of the universe there is one sun. This statement that there are multiple suns is rejected by Vedic system, because within a universe there is one sun. If you see another sun, you are basically seeing another universe. So within a universe there is usually one sun. So there are these unlimited universes, and this Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who is unlimited in number, is also the super soul. He is the second super soul. And then the third super soul, this Garbhodakshai Vishnu, then expands further.
Vishnu.
Wonderful. Yes. Shirodakshai Vishnu. Is Shirodakshai Vishnu. So he enters into the every living entity as Paramatma also, and also every living every atom, dead or dead atoms basically. So and he is the one which gives property to all these atoms.
He's so the only one inside the universe. Is that not correct?
Come again.
He's the only Vishnu inside the universe in the material creation, or not?
So Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he basically creates unlimited universes, and there are already unlimited Garbhodakshai Vishnus.
There's one of them that's in material creation, no? Or am I confused?
Yes. No, you are right. That is Shirodakshai Vishnu. He lies in the milk ocean, and he further expands into every living entity and every living atom. Yes, Mataji.
So Prabhuji, so Krishna in the spiritual world, Mahavishnu breathes out the universes, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu enters in each universe.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu enters into each universe.
And then Shirodakshai Vishnu enters each atom in the universe.
Each atom, each planet, each living entity.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
So you must have heard this, that Mahavishnu, he breathes, exhales and inhales.
Yes.
And this is where the whole creation and destruction happens. But actually from the skin pores of this Mahavishnu, or unlimited universes are just coming constantly. And these universes are presided by Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So Mahavishnu is one, Garbhodakshai Vishnu is many. But all of these three Vishnus are called super soul, Paramatma. And so I just want, and Krishna repeats this as one of the last points. So it's an important one for us to understand. So Krishna begins with that. Then he says, among Adityas, among them, Vishnu is the chief. So, from So Krishna is always the most prominent one in the categories. Then Krishna goes on to say, sun represents eyes of Krishna. This is stated in Brahma Samhita. So Krishna is basically sun. In any universe, whenever you see sun, then you may ask, how is sun the eye of Krishna? Because there are so many suns. Yes, they are all small fragmental parts in the eyes of Krishna. Krishna sees through them. So sun represents eye of Krishna. There are 50 varieties of wind blowing in space, and the controlling deity is Marichi. He represents Krishna. So there is a story of this Marichi in Srimad Bhagavatam. Mataji, you are reading Vitrasur, you are saying. So when you later on reach, I think, end of 8th canto, there will be story of Marutkan, Marutas. Indra being envious of, being afraid of Mother Diti, who wanted a son to kill Indra. She prayed to her husband, Kapila Kashyapa Muni, and Kashyapa Muni was a great sage. He realized that actually she wants to have sons to kill, his other sons, Devatas, because both Devatas and demons, the demigods and demons, they are actually sons of Kashyapa. So when Diti asked for a son which can kill Indra, Kashyapa Muni is unhappy. So he actually decides to actually give her a process by which she will become purified from this bad desire, from enviousness. So, nonetheless, he asked her to do a tapasya, tapasya, to get a son who can kill Indra. But the way she chants the mantra, or the way it was pronounced, basically it means sons who will be killed by Indra, or no, sons who will help Indra, basically. So she does tapasya. Indra, out of fear, he enters the womb of Mother Diti when she makes a mistake, and he, with his thunderbolt, he tries to break the womb, and the womb splits into seven, and then each of the seven he tries to split again, and each of the seven split again into further seven, so 49, and Marut Ganas are born, and they all pray to Indra that, look, we are not your enemy, don't kill us. And then later on, Indra realizes that, okay, he was doing all of this out of envy and fear, but actually, in spite of his making so many attempts, these are not getting killed, which means Mother Diti, or the mother of the demons, she is blessed by the Supreme Lord. And because she is blessed by the Supreme Lord, there is no point him trying to kill these 14 Marudgans. So Marichi is the top of those Marudgans. And Marichi, he represents Krishna. The story is very, very interesting, and very heart touching. And as in many stories of Srimad Bhagavatam, you can see a 360-degree transformation in hearts of people, both Diti and Indra. So read that pastime when you come to that pastime. Read systematically. Don't jump straight to that pastime. And Krishna is saying, among living beings, consciousness is the supreme and eternal, and consciousness cannot be produced by a combination of matter. See, a human being, if you can take all the chemicals in the human body, right? So if I assemble all these chemicals in another human body, will that human body become alive? No, that human body cannot become alive. So what is the living spark? It is the soul, the spiritual spark, and the material element of that spiritual spark is called consciousness. The reflection of soul. If someone's alive, they will have consciousness. So that consciousness represents Krishna. And actually, our consciousness belongs to Krishna because he is the original proprietor of the consciousness. By the way, I'll just ask a question to you all. Do you know what is the worth of this human body in terms of pounds or in terms of dollars?
That's zero, I thought. Other than just using this body. Yeah, I don't know. Like, how can it be a worth? Only, I think the human life is a million worth
Human.
because it's the only opportunity to understand who is your creator and where is your final destination and how you're supposed to conduct and why you got this. But again,
Yes.
there is a catch-22 situation over there as well, because unless Krishna gives you that blessing, it will not happen. It will not come to fruition.
Mhm.
I think it depends on the worth of the body, depending on are you just looking at the bones and the skins and
Yeah.
things like
Yes,
that.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
if you're
I'm just
looking at it
looking at
like that,
those.
then it's worth practically nothing. If you're looking at the elements, if you're
Yes,
looking at
yes, yes, correct.
Yeah, but where you're putting its use, then it becomes valuable. Who you are and how you're spreading, then because one
Yeah.
one divine a human being, anything, anybody who has great qualities and out of the world
Mm.
qualities, there is a big touch of divinity over there because that is divinity. We say, right, like how this little kid knows so much, how
Mm,
that
mm.
singer and that little age sings like that. How did
Yes.
somebody get that kind of samskara? You don't get
Mm,
that from parents. It's a touch of
mm, mm,
divinity because
mm,
very good parents have very bad kids and vice versa.
mm, mm, mm,
So yeah, if it is put in use, I feel yes, it's valuable because that's a walking, talking person about
mm,
stuff.
mm.
But other than that, what is that value? We just like animals. We come and go eat, sleep, buy stuff, and go again, die and again.
Okay, no wonderful realization, Mataji. Yes, as Prabhuji is
How
mentioning,
were you asking? How were you asking the
only the
question?
elements, the skin,
Only
bones,
that.
elements. Mm.
Then, if you're looking at it from that point of view, I don't think it's worth much. Looking at it from
Yes,
Mataji's point of
exactly.
view, it's worth. It can be worth a lot.
Yes, exactly. So, a common example I quote to students in there is a 6 session course I do, which is journey of self discovery. In that, I ask a question: if there is someone who is riding a Ferrari, and there is a very serious accident, who will you save, Ferrari or the person? What is your question? What is your answer? Who will you save?
Oh,
Person,
yeah, the person. I
The
person,
mean,
person.
yeah.
The person. Okay, but actually, the value of Ferrari is like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the value of person is literally 1 pound 70 pence. The chemical combinations, all
Ah,
the chemicals of the human body is 1 pound 70 pence.
ah.
The value is slightly different here and there, but it generally is in that range. So the question really arises, what are we actually saving? Because the chemical combinations of Ferrari is way costlier than the chemical combinations of human body. So what are we saving? Are we saving the body, or are we saving the actual consciousness, the person from whom the questions are, who are you, how are you, why are you, who are you related to, and all those things, right?
Yeah, but that Ferrari is also like in the material world, somebody has assigned that value by producing less and doing things and putting markup if it was like very easily available. So it's a device
Correct.
and devilness of our material
Correct.
nature that we are doing that. Otherwise, what are the values of this? Nothing. All the major
Yes.
things here are like getting mostly free. Air is free. Sunlight is free.
Mm. In reality, Mataji, everything in the material world has a value in hierarchy, meaning something is more valuable than the other. Like, for example, in scriptures, gold is mentioned to be more valuable than silver, and silver is more valuable than copper, and silver is less valuable than gold, and similarly, copper is less valuable than silver, and similarly, rock or stones or iron is less valuable than copper, and things like that. So everything in material world has a value.
Mm.
uh, so essentially, human body's value is even less than a lot of those things if you just take materially. So the point is that actually human body, human existence is definitely more than just chemical combinations, right?
Yeah.
Because consciousness is what we really value. Our memories, our consciousness, our soul in the body. So that consciousness inside a human being, that is Krishna actually. So someone is conscious, someone is alive, we value that person, we value their importance, we value their relation. That means actually we are valuing Krishna. So if you have any relative, if you have any person that you like, love, or you like love them to see them in a conscious state, in an alert state, then you should see that Krishna is present, and you should be thankful. That is, this is how a devotee should see all living beings. So when you're walking on the street, you can see all living entities. You can be pleased, you can be happy, you can be happy that okay, these are all actually conscious living entities. So Krishna is there. They represent energy of Krishna. Of the 11 Rudras, Lord Shankar is predominant. He represents Krishna. So there are 11 Rudras. I don't know the name of all of them. Mahadev, Shambhu, like that. There are many names of the Rudra. So of them, Lord Shankar or Lord Shiva, he is predominant, and Krishna represents them. It represents Lord Shiva. So, Bhagavad Gita is clearly mentioning that actually Shiva is an energy, is a part and parcel of Krishna. Yet people have questions. Yet people call Lord Shiva as the supreme personality of Godhead. So, Shiva is not supreme personality of Godhead. Sadashiv is, yes, he is, like he is Mahavishnu, so he is supreme. But Lord Shiva, within the material universes, he is actually the greatest devotee of the Supreme Lord. But he is not the Supreme Lord himself. Then, son of Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, his name is known as Kartikeya, and Kartikeya is also known as Skanda. And Skanda is actually the chief of all military commanders. Chief of all military commanders of Krishna's army. Uh, you know, Kartikeya is the military commander in his army, Krishna's army. So, there are temples of Kartikeya in South India, and people worship in great awe and reverence. And also, you should not go to his temple and ask for some benediction, because he will give, because every time you ask a benediction, you have to also give something in return. So some people say that, look, I will give up this, I will give up that, I will do this, I will do that. And, when you don't do it, and you have said it in the temple of Kartikeya, then you get serious reactions back, because Kartikeya is a military commander. He's not an ordinary person. You can't go to military commander and say, okay, I will do this, and then suddenly you don't do it. You will
Your
get
head off.
punished for it. You saying something, Prabhu?
I just said he'll chop your head off.
Why not? Well, basically, you just be careful, because different personalities have different roles. Then Bhrigu is a direct son of Lord Brahma, and he's the most powerful sage. Krishna, amongst the sages, Krishna says, I am Bhrigu. Bhrigu's story is very intense. If you read and understand about Bhrigu, you will develop lot of reverence and awe about Lord Bhrigu, about sage Bhrigu. And this sage is the sage who actually kicked in the chest of Lord Vishnu. There is a story, I think some of you know, or maybe both of you know. And, he had the audacity of kicking the chest of Lord Vishnu and confirming that actually Lord Vishnu is the supreme personality of Godhead. And this Bhrigu Muni is mentioned many places. When you read the pastime of Hiranyakashipu, you have heard of Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu, right?
Yes,
So
Prabhuji, in
this
Bhagavatam.
demon, yeah, this demon Hiranyakashipu, he surpassed Bhrigu in his powers, and no one in history has ever surpassed it. Not when same Jai Vijay, not when they came back as Ravan and Kumbhakaran, they didn't surpass it like that. When they came as Dantavakra, so Hiranyakashipu was so powerful. He even surpassed Bhrigu Muni. Bhrigu Muni himself is extremely powerful, extremely, extremely powerful. So Krishna represents amongst the sages. Krishna is Bhrigu. Huh? And amongst the sound vibration, Krishna says, I am Om. The word Om represents Krishna. Among sacrifices, see, this is the best one. Among sacrifices, best, purest, and simplest sacrifice is japa, chanting of the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, specifically in India, when we do this chanting of Hare Krishna, people are saying, oh, these people are sentimentalists, they're just chanting. No, we are not just chanting. This Harinam that we do, it's a sacrifice. The japa, specifically, japa means the slow chanting or individual chanting. The individual chanting that we do 16 rounds every day, that is japa. So this japa is called sacrifice. Why is it called sacrifice? That even while doing this japa, your mind will distract you, it will go everywhere, your senses in your body will trouble you, your brain will say open the mobile phone and look up something, look at that service, you need to respond to that service, it is related to Krishna. No, but in that time of japa, focus your mind and that's a very difficult thing to do. In spite your bodily troubles, you have to do the japa. Therefore, a lot of people come to ISKCON. When you give them prasad, they like it. When you give them kirtan, they like it. When you give them dancing, they love it. When you ask them to chant, they say no, we can't chant. And therefore, there is one song which was there. I ask people to chant, 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 and they say I can't, can't, can't. So the chanting is a sacrifice. Yes, Vidisha Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So yeah, that is like true. So we have this morning meditation japa group. So previously it was under the umbrella of Think Gita in Manor, and there were like 500 plus people. And
Hmm.
every morning at 5 a.m., we would have maximum 5, 6 people, and by 6:30 you would have like 12, 13. But just imagine it's just a trickle of that
Hmm.
500 plus people. So now we still have. So it's so hard. So we now have 3 hours continuous meditation, and we take turn
Hmm.
1 hour. Each one will lead or something. But it is so hard to have people come in and join at any time, or even like do one rounds, as you rightfully said.
Hmm.
It is so hard. And the second point which you raised is so right. Of course, the mind distracts in 10,000 places, and it is not supposed to even think of those things. It comes from nowhere. But I feel it does changes with continuous practice and days and years, and you're able to concentrate better. Sometimes you'll do it with heart. Some days are very good, some
Hmm.
days may not be, but it does improve, and I have
Hmm.
felt that personally. It is not
Wonderful.
all doom and gloom. It does improve.
Wonderful. Very good, Mataji. You have that realization.
Hmm.
Uh, but this is why it is very difficult, because it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your freedom, or should I say, you have to sacrifice your momentary happiness and pleasure, because we are asking people to control their mind. And those who actually don't do japa, they will soon or later realize that their mind is become completely uncontrolled. Or they will become, they will be controlled people in a corporate world, and they can still be very controlled in their minds and intelligence and senses and sleeping and eating and all those things, but they are not close to Krishna. When they
Yeah.
come to chanting.
There is a medicinal benefit also, and I don't mind sharing it.
Yeah, please
So
share.
I have high blood pressure, okay,
Mm, mm,
but
mm.
and a very high heart rate.
Yes.
But when I chant, it goes excessively way below. Initially, I used to jump and think like, what is happening with me? And
Yes.
you won't believe the GP has told me whenever you feel stressed or you feel the pressure is going up, you start chanting if you think your chanting is doing good for you. And this is the first time in the Western world a GP is
Yes.
telling me, and he's not an East. I mean, like he's not a GP from India or other Asian location where
Yes.
they practice chanting, not like that.
Hmm.
And they told me, like, whenever you're stressed, your office stuff and all that, you just keep it over there and chant your heart if it is like because it's working for you. So there is a medicinal benefit. I know it works differently for different people, but hey, it
Hmm.
worked for me, so I'm happy.
When I
Wonderful.
was chanting, when I started doing japa, I wasn't even doing 16 rounds a day, but I did
Hmm.
it daily, and it
Hmm.
varied. And after some years, my friends started saying, "You've become a much nicer person," even at work. Before I
Wow.
came to the temple.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, there are loads of benefits,
Yes.
and
Hmm.
there's also loads of tricks. I've also followed a couple of japa courses with oh, he lives in Alachua, Mahatma Das or something. I
Yes,
can't
Mahatma
Oh,
remember.
Das
yes.
Prabhuji. He
Yeah,
has
uh,
beautiful affirmations.
yeah,
Yes.
and I mean, I didn't think I would learn anything, but still, I picked a few things up, and it really helps. It does.
Yes.
And a friend of mine, who's disciple of Radhanath Maharaj, I saw him chanting with earplugs. Like when you chant and you put your fingers in your ear, you can hear your voice
You
much
can
more
hear your
clearly.
voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, and he puts earplugs in his ear, and he really hears himself when chanting. That's they're great
Yeah.
tips that I've seen.
Yeah, Mahatma Prabhu is like a stalwart chanter. Sachinandan Maharaj, stalwart chanter. Radhanath Maharaj, stalwart chanter. There are so many other liberated devotees in the movement. They are stalwart chanters. I recently saw Tribhanganand Prabhu, who's one of the Prabhupada's disciple. He's created a device where he has a microphone to his lips and the headphones in his. So as he's speaking, the sound vibration is coming back in his ears like multiplied, glorified. Of course, when you put just the thing, you will hear your voice more better. But imagine you're
Yeah,
putting your own voice through microphone into your ears. You can't hear anything else but your own voice, basically. And
Yes.
that is critically important in the beginning times, in the beginning process of chanting. You must hear your sound. A lot of people play Prabhupada tape in the behind, in the background, and that is also very good. But the main purpose of chanting is for you to hear your voice. Are you hearing your own voice? If not, then there is a problem. Hmm?
Yeah.
So, because if you're not, then you're not doing sacrifice. You are just doing some mechanical process. But to do sacrifice, you have to say the mantra and you have to hear it. This is what Prabhupada mentions in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is why. So as soon as you continue doing this for a long period of time, your sacrifice will become better and better. And after chanting, you will find great peace and joy. Of course, my father also had, he's no more, but he also had high blood pressure and other things. By mercy of the Lord, I didn't get it, because it all comes in the family. Because I'm chanting. Oftentimes they take my blood pressure and it's always usually in the range of 110 and 108, the pulse and the pressure. So I am amazed myself that just chanting itself, just the act. And actually there has been an experimentation done what for 30 years ago by devotee scientists, and they have actually put this paper in, I think it was Harvard University, that chanting has very definite benefits, and one of them amongst them is peaceful existence, lowered blood pressure. So the experiments have also been done, and a thesis for this has already been put, and people got their PhDs too on all of these experiments. So no doubt it has had a lot of benefits, but my important point to make to you is that it's a sacrifice. It's not going to be easy. Those people who persist, continue to do this, will see great benefit. The benefits have been documented by His Holiness Shivram Maharaj in a book called Chant More.
Mm.
Everyone must take that book and read that book. There you will read. He is explaining how when you chant pro- properly for how many years, what will be the effect of chanting. If you chant for 5 years, what is the effects you should see? If you have been chanting for 10 years, what all things will change in your life, and what are the effects, what are the outcomes you can see? So he is actually quantifying, and that is very difficult to do, right? To quantify the effects and actually tell people these are the realizations you will get by 5 years, these are the realizations you will get by 10 years, these are the realizations you will get by 15 years. So he's calling that book Chant More. So Chant More is a book you can get and you can read, and you will be amazed to see the effects of chanting. And it will also inspire you to chant nicely.
Mm.
I personally struggled to chant a lot. One day I did this course, for chanting. And the last day of the course, everyone had to chant 64 rounds in the day. So everyone, enthusiastically, we all started like early in the morning, like, as soon as the Mangal Arati was finished. And, I was struggling and struggling to chant. But like night 10:45, I'm sitting in the stairs of the temple of So Street, on the top floor near Tulsi Maharani, and I'm still chanting. And every single chant, every single name was becoming as heavy as a rock on my lips. I
Mm.
just couldn't chant 64. That day I realized that I'm not designed so far. My purification has not happened. I am not pure. And those people who are pure, who are offenseless, who are not committing offenses, they can chant more. So I that day realized that I must focus on spending time with Krishna, must spend time with Krishna so that I can connect with Krishna more and connect with spiritual masters, devotional service more. And then this way become purified. And in this way, I can increase my rounds. Chanting 16 is not important. If you are chanting properly 16, you should go even beyond 16. A lot of devotees chant 18 rounds, 19 rounds, 20 rounds. A lot of them also chant 24 rounds every day. On Ekadashis, a lot of devotees chant 25 rounds. Some of the spiritual masters, they have instructed their disciples that on Ekadashi you must chant 25 rounds. My God, that's difficult, right? On every single Ekadashi. When I was young, unmarried, most of my Ekadashis, I can't remember any Ekadashi where I hadn't chanted 25 rounds. But after I got married, it was very difficult for me to chant 25 rounds every day. Sorry, 25 rounds on Ekadashis. But that is the purpose, chanting more. And if you can chant more, that means for chanting more you have to find time more. And when you find time more, then you have to sacrifice more of your mental space. You have to give away Netflix, you have to give away so many other things that you love to do. Your material mind and body will force you to do, but because now you're in a routine of chanting this many rounds, you don't have time for those things. So there is some struggle in your heart, there is some sacrifice from your side. Therefore Krishna is saying, among all the sacrifices, I am japa. And by doing japa, you are pleasing Krishna. Because Krishna is saying it here. It's the best, purest, and simplest sacrifice. We don't need to do big, big fire sacrifices. We don't need to go to Gaya. We don't need to go to some other place. If someone is dying, if someone is unhealthy, if someone is having troubles in their life, chant holy names for them. If you chant holy name for them, you are doing a sacrifice for them, and you're doing the greatest welfare work for them. So, in all troublesful situations of life, if you really want to help someone, chant for them. So important. Otherwise, you can't help the person because there is no other sacrifice you can do. Because amongst all sacrifices, Krishna is japa. Of the trees, Krishna is banyan tree, most beautiful tree, and it is worshipped in India. You can't. I don't think you see banyan trees here in the West, right? Have you seen banyan trees in the West?
No, Prabhuji. I thought like, why don't people make bonsai out of it? Sorry. So that we could get it over here. I have these
Uh,
weird things, like I feel like you get all the masalas and all the curries in the world. Why can't they
yeah,
buy
yeah,
all these things?
yeah.
Because then you can, I know like banyan tree, it spreads its roots and everything everywhere. I'm like, why can't people go for bonsais and all? They make all kinds of plants and
Hmm.
hybrids and all. So we don't see the Krishna Tulsis over here often
Hmm. Hmm.
easily. We don't see that the darker color ones. What we see the basil leaves of the Holland species mostly.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, not even,
Yeah,
not necessarily, not.
yeah, not the Tulsi that we are referring to, Radha Tulsi or
Hmm.
Krishna Tulsi, but and also not the banyan tree. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
don't
So
we
these
don't see
things,
the neem plants also, right? We don't see neem
no,
plants. Yeah, yeah,
because they can't grow in this weather, I think. So
yeah.
so Krishna is saying that I'm banyan tree, and in 15th chapter, the urdhvamulam madha shakham ashwatha prahuravyayam chandamsi yasya parnani yatam veda savedavit. In Krishna, in 15th chapter, he begins the chapter like this with urdhvamula madha shakham, that my roots are upwards and my branches are downwards. He is referring to the karma kanda section, or he's actually referring to the karma in general. That to actually understand laws of karma is very, very difficult. He's beginning 15th chapter like this. 15th chapter is a very glorious chapter. And actually, in that chapter, he's referring to banyan tree. If you upside down the banyan tree has roots everywhere, and the branches are also everywhere, and it's spreading in the right side direction, left side direction also. So Krishna is saying that the understanding the karma cycle is like that. From where it began, where it is finishing, there is no clear understanding of it. So, banyan tree is a sacred tree. Krishna is using it as one of the examples when he's speaking. and banyan tree is a most beautiful tree, and therefore in India a lot of the people actually worship banyan tree. So when you go to banyan tree now, you can think of banyan tree as a representation of Krishna, even for the devotees, right? Even for the devotees, if we hear the word Om, we should not disregard it. We can say, oh, this is Krishna, like that. So banyan tree, every time you see, you can think of Krishna. Improve your remembrance of Krishna. Sages amongst demigod Krishna is Narada, who is considered the greatest devotee in the universe. So amongst the demigods, like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Surya Dev. So all the demigods, they also have a sages, and who they seek guidance from. And amongst those sages, Narad Muni is the best, and he is representation of Krishna. So wherever in Srimad Bhagavatam Narad Muni enters, or see in Srimad Bhagavatam, all the best characters, they are disciples of Narad Muni. Prahlad Maharaj, disciple of Narad Muni. Dhruv Maharaj, disciple of Narad Muni. So all the best characters you will see, in and Yudhishthir Maharaj is also having a conversation with Narad Muni. A long portion of Bhagavatam is a conversation between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Narad Muni. So Narad Muni is a very, very special sant, very, very special saint, and he is a best of the devotees. All sampradayas actually come from Narad Muni, right? Knowledge was given by Lord Brahma to Narad Muni. Narad Muni gave it to Vyasadev, who actually wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. Narad Muni inspired Vyasadev to write Srimad Bhagavatam. The deity worship we do in temple, it comes in a scripture called Narada Pancharatra. So that is also, documentation by Srimad Narad Muni. Very, very special personality and very amazing sage. His qualities are unlimited, and all sampradayas come from him. And, because he is giving this knowledge back to people. And what is his activity? He's traveling all across the universes, chanting holy names of Krishna. Narad Muni Bajai Veena Radhika Ramana Name, meaning he's traveling everywhere. He's is playing this instrument called Veena, and he's singing the glories of the Lord. So Krishna, if you hear about Narad Muni, you can remember Krishna immediately. Amongst best singers of Krishna is Chitratha. This is in the Gandharva planets. There are people who do singing. They're very, very beautiful singers with amazing instruments. Amazing instruments. The best amongst them is Chitraratha, and Krishna is saying that Chitraratha represents Krishna. Then Kandarpa is a sex desire for presenting good sons. Therefore, Kandarpa is a representative of Krishna. Sometimes sex is engaged in only for sense gratification. Such sexes does not represent Krishna. So, out of material desires, out of our own lust, the activity that one engages in, that is not Krishna. But if you have a desire to bring good progeny, so that they can come in this material world and they can actually become devotees of the Lord, or serve the people of the material world selflessly and help them realize the Supreme Lord, that desire is Kandarpa, and that is actually Krishna's representation. Then Lord Ananta, he is representation of among the Nagas. Nagas means the snakes. Lord Ananta is the one who actually holds all the universes on his head. There is earthly planetary systems, which are middle planetary systems. Then there is Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, and I may have missed one or two, but at the end there is Patal Loka, meaning the one at the lowest bottom of the whole universe system. And beneath Patala Loka is a Loka of Lord Ananta. And Lord Ananta, on one of his hoods, he is holding this entire universal structure, and he is extremely angry. See, snakes are very angry in general, and they are very envious in general. Lord Ananta is not envious, but he's very angry. Why is he angry? He's angry because he's seeing that people in these 14 planetary systems are not taking to Krishna consciousness. They are not becoming devotees of the Lord. So he's becoming more and more angry. But he is holding off his anger. He is holding off his anger. But you will read in Srimad Bhagavatam how angry he is when he sees non-devotees, or he sees that no people are not taking to the devotional service of the Lord. On his hood, this entire universe is situated as one mustard seed, as one small mustard seed. He is actually holding all the material planetary systems. So that is Lord Ananta, and his glories are described in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think in 9th canto. I may be wrong, but I think it is in ninth canto. Very interesting read, and
Babu,
very interesting to realize. Yes, Prabhuji.
um, isn't it a fact that all the planetary systems they want to come to Earth because this is the only I've maybe I'm misunderstood, but I thought only from this Earth planet we can become devotees or something like that, and then maybe I
Yes.
misunderstood. I'm
No,
explaining
no.
incorrectly.
No, you are true. All the demigods from higher planetary systems, they want to come to Earth because on upper planetary systems, there is too much opulence. They can't remember the Lord. So in that opulence, even in the planets of Maharlok, Tapalok, they are more attracted to tapasya, peace, calm, realizing the divinity, like that. So they want to come to Earth, and here on Earth, your karmic balance is equal, 50-50. You have 50% good and your 50% bad credits. Generally, for the people who come to Earth, generally, it may be the case that some people have really bad karma, and so they are like 80-70, so they are suffering more. But generally, when people are like middle portions and they come to Earth, and here they experience both suffering and pleasure, and in this situation they can actually realize God. Because if there is only happiness which is on the upper planetary systems, you can't realize God. And if there is only suffering which is in the lower planetary systems, you just want to go away from the suffering, so you still can't actually realize God.
So people from lower planets also want to come to Earth.
No, people from lower planets, they first want to take human birth so that they can get rid of the miseries. They don't know that they can, they can go back home, back to Godhead. What they see, if I'm keeping you in a microwave oven, then first thing that you will want is to come out of microwave oven, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they want.
Okay.
So they want to be good persons or good people so that Yamraj doesn't punish them even more, like that. Or they want to be good people so that they can come out of the lower planetary systems where they're constantly and have to undergo death, and they have constantly under anxiety that some demon may attack and some demon may actually kill them. In the lower species, as you go down in the lower planetary systems, their opulence is great. There is so much opulence, but there is so much fear that, oh, they will lose this opulence, that someone will come and kill them. So they just want to be out of this anxiety in the lower planetary systems. Similarly, upper planetary systems, there is less anxiety and there is too much opulence. So they've been too much opulence. Again, if I've given you like the best house in the world and the best people to enjoy with, and all the luxuries, naturally you will have less time for Krishna. Take example of all of these Hollywood stars and Bollywood stars. How much time do they have other than themselves? They're constantly making sure that they're looking perfectly, they are dressed perfectly because paparazzi is there. So they have no time for Krishna. If you speak to them Krishna, 5-10 minutes they will spend, and that too for name and fame, because people will then write about them. Oh, they visited the temple of the Lord. So they are more interested in that than actually following the devotional path, actually following the devotional process. So if you become opulent, you can't worship Krishna. If you are in trouble, you can't worship Krishna. So you come to earth where you have 50-50. You will have trouble sometimes and you will have happiness sometimes. If you have too much happiness, then you will get pulled down and you will get some health problems or you'll get some other problems. And all of these are opportunities to love Krishna, opportunities to remember Krishna, opportunities to serve Krishna. That's why everyone wants to come to earth. Hope that answers your question.
Yes.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Then Aryama is a presiding deity of the Pitris. Pitris, forefathers. Those people who have been very pious and good people, they go to the planets of forefathers. Because they have worshipped forefathers all their life, they have done Shraddha ceremony, they are in awe and reverence of the forefathers, they are in awe and reverence of the lineage that they are born in. So they don't necessarily go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or they don't necessarily go to Swarglok. They go to a very nice and a peaceful planet called Pitralok. And the presiding deity of this planet is called Aryama. So Krishna represents Aryama. Then similarly, Yama is situated in planet near the So among the dispensers of the law or among punishers, Krishna is Yama or Yamraj. And the planet of Yamraj is close to the earthly planets. Those people who are very sinful, they are taken to that planet. And in the body, which is not completely gross, but which is also not completely subtle, it's in middle somewhere. The people are punished. They are given a temporary gross body in which they can actually feel the punishment. So the punishment is very, very dangerous types of punishments mentioned in fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Putting in the hot oil, or putting in a lake where you have been, it's all made of abominable semen and all those things, because you have done those things in your life. So this is the planet where Lord Yamraj punishes. um, and amongst demons, Krishna is Prahlad Maharaj, because actually even amongst demons, Prahlad was the best devotee of the Lord. So Krishna, amongst the demons, Prahlad Maharaj represents Krishna. Among subduers, Krishna represents time, because time subdues everyone and everything. In your life, you must have seen someone very powerful and someone threatening other people, but over period of time, their power also reduces. You may have seen someone very boastful. Every year, you must have heard this, right? Top 50 richest people in the world. You've seen that? You read that
Yes,
often, right?
yes, Guruji.
That list changes every year. Why is that list changing every year? Ask that question. It's because as the time passes, their glory is changing constantly. So time is subduing everyone, everyone's position. Someone who is strong, beautiful, powerful, you know someone was very beautiful when they were young, but as the time passed, all their beauty faded away, because their beauty is subdued now by time. So time actually subdues all kinds of people, all kinds of situations. So Krishna is saying, I am time. Now, this is very important, because Krishna is time. He's repeating that twice. Amongst animals, lion is the most ferocious. So every time you go to zoo, I recently took my children to zoo, and there children were very excited to see lion and tiger. Specifically when lion came, they were so excited. They were jumping in the bus. They were going from one side to another side. There was also in Birmingham, there is this safari zoo. There we have lions. And so, my little 4-year-old was so excited to see lion and tiger and all the animals, specifically when lion. So Krishna represents, when we saw the lion, then we say, okay, actually Krishna represents lion. Amongst birds, Krishna is Garuda. So Garuda is the bird which Krishna is representing. Purifies, Krishna is wind. And people say, let me get some fresh air. You've heard this? Let me get some fresh air. What do they actually want? And they actually want Krishna. It means, let me remember Krishna. When they take fresh air, with fresh air, they feel pure. They feel purity. See, if you touch any of the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, you will feel pure. Take your shoes off and go on a bare feet on a plain earth, sandy earth. You will feel very nice. And near my home, there is this Cashiobury Park. In this Cashiobury Park, there is a stream of water flowing down. And every now and then, I just go there and take off my shoes, and I just sit in the middle of the flowing water on a piece of a rock with my feet dipped inside the water. And I feel amazing, because water is a purifier. So all the natural elements, they are purifiers. And among all of them, when you actually take fresh air, you will see your skin cells, your mind, your everything is completely rejuvenated, because actually that fresh air or that purifier is Krishna. So
Wakes me
this
up.
way,
It
pardon?
wakes me up. It wakes me up. I always
Wakes
need fresh air after this session.
Yes. So when you
No,
take this
really.
fresh air,
Staring at the screen, it's
yes.
sometimes warm, sometimes not so warm, but I need it to wake up.
Yes. So every time you take the fresh air, you can think, oh, this is Krishna. I want some Krishna. You can say, Prabhu, can I take a break for Krishna? And I can't say anything now, because, okay. Among wielders of weapon, I am Lord Ram. So Lord Ram was the most um, calculated and tolerant wielder of the weapon. People could really agitate him, he wouldn't get agitated. When he knew exact purpose, when to wield a weapon and what will be the end goal of wielding a weapon, he would never threaten. Like in the modern day, we have people who threaten nuclear weapons. Lord Ram, although had all the weapons, even bigger than nuclear weapons, he would never threaten anyone. And even when someone's threatening him, he would have all sayam. Sayam means patience, to actually not wield them unduly. So therefore, Krishna is saying that among Lord. So here also Krishna is saying that I am the supreme personality of Godhead, and Lord Ram was one of my amshas, or one of my parts and parcels. Of fishes, Krishna says I am shark. You've seen shark, right? We have seen when we specifically went to Scotland. We went to this, you know, this marine life thing where you can see all these fishes and all kinds. And we went through a tunnel, and in the tunnel from above our heads was passing these sharks. So scary. It's so scary. And actually, sharks are very ferocious, and some very big size sharks. The size of those sharks is like 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 big buildings, tall towers. Such sharks are not seen in the modern day, but such sharks exist. I don't know, you have seen this Meg, in the Meg movie, there is this crazy size shark, and this shark is only found in sub beneath the ocean floor, and somehow the ocean floor has been hidden. So actually, these sharks that is depicted in this so-called movie, it is mentioned in the Vedic literatures. And such a shark is called Timingal fish. Timingal is like, thousands of sharks combined. That's how ferocious this shark is, Timingal. So among fishes, Krishna is the shark. Of the flowing rivers, Krishna is Ganga. Of course, in India, everyone worships Ganga. They go to Ganga because Ganga represents Krishna. Hmm? Among knowledge, Krishna is spiritual knowledge or Adhyatma Vidya. Specifically, Krishna is saying Vedanta Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam, it is literally said, Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam. That this Bhagavatam book, Idam Bhagavata Nama, this book by the name Bhagavatam, Puranam, this is a Puran, but what kind of Puran is Puranam Brahma Samhitam, which means it is directly like the body of the Lord. So Bhagavatam literally is the body of Krishna. And here Krishna is saying the same thing. I'm amongst the knowledge, one is spiritual knowledge. Few days ago, I was speaking to a school teacher, and that school teacher was belonging to spiritual school, and she was complaining that the children are now spending more time doing spiritual activities compared to doing core subjects. Core subjects are math, English, like that, right? So she was complaining that children are being taken to sanghas, and children are being taken to do spiritual subjects. And she said that if it was my child, I would never send them to these spiritual subjects. See, I was trying to, I was wanting to tell her, but I didn't say it because, she would never listen, because very agitative type of personality. I was wanting to tell her that, look, actually knowledge means spiritual knowledge only. All other knowledge is temporary. And spiritual knowledge is Krishna. In school, children go to school for knowledge. And if you don't give children any spiritual knowledge in school, then what's the point of this material knowledge alone? So, spiritual knowledge is very important, and therefore, in modern day schools, these are atheistic centers. Children go to these atheistic centers and they become atheists. They don't believe in God, they have no scientific knowledge of God, and therefore, the society becomes aimless. Krishna says, amongst logicians, I am conclusive truth. This is the one that I love so much, because there are different types of arguments in logic. Sometimes someone supporting one's argument with evidence that also supports the opposing side. So you're presenting an evidence which is supporting your argument, but at the same time it is supporting other side also. So that is called jalpa. Then there is a type of argument that we see in the Western world, specifically a lot of the Abrahamic religions, they do this, is merely trying to defeat one's opponent is called Vitanda. You don't have a conversation for the sake of actually enlightening each other, but because you want to prove your supremacy over the other, you just keep on arguing, actually not intending to listen or actually not intending to actually transform yourself. The whole purpose is to transform other people. So such an argument is called Vitanda. That is also of no benefit. But then the actual conclusion is called Vada. And this Vada, Krishna represents this conclusive truth. This, when you are actually discussing in an open fashion, in an open mind, not in a debating fashion, but in a fashion where you are peaceful, happy, and open to listening to others. And this, after having a proper conversation with logic, with science and with logic, if you are coming to a natural conclusion, that conclusion represents Krishna. Of the compound words, I am the dual word. Dual word means two words together. Rama Krishna means Lord Balram and Lord Krishna. Oftentimes in Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see this word Rama Krishna. And here Rama Krishna means Lord Balram and Krishna. So Rama Krishna is one such dual word. And Krishna is saying, I am the dual words. Of amongst the words, I am the compound word. I am the dual word. Amongst destroyers, Krishna is time. See, so
Sorry.
Krishna.
Does
Yes.
that also mean combined words like Radha Krishna, Gonitai, Krishna Balaram, and that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Compound words are dual words. It's essentially Krishna is them. So every time you read a compound word, you can remember Krishna like that. So see, Krishna is present in so many things in splendorous ways. So time here we have studied already that it subdues all positions, all pride it destroys. But here Krishna not only destroys or subdues with time, Krishna also actually destroys the people. All the great warriors, they're all gone. Time has actually subdued them. So time is very important. I think there is this pyramid, that lizard eats cockroach, right? Lizard eats cockroach, and mice eats lizard, and cat eats mice, and dogs eats cats, and people in China, they also eat dogs. And such people, time eats all of these people. If time is left by themselves, then each cat, cockroach, they will all die natural death. And natural death means time will kill them all. So time is actually the main destroyer. And Krishna is saying death is the devouring at every moment, but last stroke is Krishna. See, every moment we are dying, right? Every moment we are dying. All cells are changing, all cells are dying, and new cells are being formed. But Krishna is specifically mentioning that very last moment. If someone actually sees this last moment of in front of them, if they have seen someone dying in front of them, then it is also a time that they can remember Krishna, because that very last breath or that very last moment is Krishna. And then Krishna, generally a human beings, they undergo through 6 transformation. There is birth, then we grow, then we remain in certain size, and then we reproduce. And after, this cycle of remain and reproduce, I often say that, when we are small and we are growing, we grow like this. But when we come to middle age, we grow like this. True? Middle age means growth like this. And earlier age means growth like this. We become tall, we become thin, we become all of these. But in
And
middle age,
when we get old, we grow like that.
we
We
grow
shrink.
like
We
we
shrink.
shrink. Very good realization. Yes. When we become old, we grow like that. We actually go down, we shrink, and then finally we vanish. So of these 6 things that we undergo, 6 transformation, Krishna says that I am the birth. So if you see a birth, then it's a very auspicious moment, because that moment represents Krishna. And then now these are among women. Krishna says among women, I am these qualities. fame, fortune, memory, fine speech, patience, intelligence, and steadfastness. So when I first read these qualities, I asked my mind, oh, I also have some memory, and maybe I also have some intelligence. I lack patience. So I started to ask this question. So am I women? Am I woman? No, this is the qualities are generally for both women and man, but these qualities, when present in women, they really make a woman very nice or very beautiful, like that, or fully decorated with good qualities. So these are feminine qualities, and feminine qualities is fame. Fame without righteousness. If you become very famous, but there is no righteousness in your fame, then that fame is not fame. So, fame with righteousness is the real fame, and that is Krishna. Fortune, fortune of having association of devotees, fortune of having good guidance in your life. Those people who have good guidance in their life are the people who have everything. So, you must always ask, are you under good guidance or are you not under good guidance? That is fortune. And see, fine speech is Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the fine speech. So, that's why we say recite verses, memorize verses, and even while your regular conversations, use the words like, instead of saying pure devotional service, use the word like Ananya Bhakti, use the words like Shuddha Bhakti. And as soon as you use the word Ananya Bhakti, you will realize Ananya Bhakti means continuous Bhakti. That means you will think yourself that, oh, am I doing continuous Bhakti? Was there an interruption? Oh, yes, Tuesday I didn't go to the temple. Let me make it up now. These words have an impact. When you pronounce them, then you relate them with the meaning, and with the meaning, you can apply them in your life. So, this is why we stress so much on Sanskrit. Fine speech represents Sanskrit. Then, memory. If you can remember well, that is Krishna. This is why I'm stressing you all to revise. Repetition is the foundation of memory. Until unless you become super intelligent and alert. If you are fully alert, which means fully conscious, then also your memory will be very high. But the problem is we are not fully alert, and we are not fully alert because we are not fully conscious of Krishna. The more we become conscious of Krishna moment to moment, the more our alertness increases. The more our alertness increases, the more our memory increases. And so this is a cycle, and to break this cycle or get into this cycle, what we have to do is we have to revise. We have to spend time with Krishna. The more we spend time with Krishna, the more Krishna will stay in our consciousness. The more Krishna will stay in our consciousness, the more alert we'll become. The more alert we'll become, we will be able to be able to absorb everything very nicely, and assimilation will be very nice. When absorption and assimilation is very nice, you remember the taste, and with the remembrance of the taste, you will have memory. So it's a process, and the whole process starts with spending time with Krishna, reading books, chanting his holy names, doing some service in memory of Krishna, in remembrance of Krishna. So this memory represents Krishna. If you have poor memory, then you are not spending time with Krishna. Simple. Intelligence. Intelligence means ability to understand many different subject matters and ability to apply them. See, a lot of people understand, but they don't know how to apply it. And therefore, they lack intelligence. So intelligence means not just ability to read a lot of subject matter, ability to remember that subject matter, and after remembering that subject matter, ability to understand the essence of all of that. And after understanding the essence, when such a situation comes in your life, then you have to be able to apply it. That is called intelligence. If you can't apply this in your life, then you have not become intelligent. Steadfastness or firmness, which is patience. So, patience is a very appreciated quality, and that is Krishna. Okay, do you want break for 5 minutes? Vidisha Mataji, I'll answer your question before the break.
Yes.
Or if you have
Yeah,
any
yeah.
point.
I want. There were two things. One was in your previous slide, you had a word bold, like actual. Conclusion is called um some. No, not this one. The next slide, like the ones that were like from 28 onwards, Prabhuji.
Okay, 1 minute.
Yes, there it is.
Yes,
The
the
actual conclusion is called Vada.
Vad.
Vada.
Yes,
Or Vad.
yes.
Okay. Vitanda, Vad, Vitanda means, yeah, okay. Arguments, or is it
I,
like some. So why did you highlight that?
I highlight this Vada because Krishna in the verse is actually directly using this word Vada. And actually, this means I highlight this because devotees are not interested in Vitanda and Jalpa. We are
Okay.
only interested in Vada. See, what happened is in our disciplic succession, we had very, very learned scholars. And when you become very learned, the first tendency is to do debates.
Mm.
Because you have this knowledge, you have itch to actually present to the world this itch that you have got, you want to get rid of it. See, knowledge, having lot of knowledge is considered like a heavy hat. And when you have heavy hat on your head, then you have to act like that intelligent person. So we are not interested in debate. We are not interested in jalpa, meaning, uh, trying to prove that, look, I'm right like this, and I'm also right like this. And from that perspective, also, I'm right. And, this verse means like that, but it also means like that. So you're supporting all the arguments just for the sake of actually explaining to people that, look, I'm so intelligent. I can explain the same thing in so many different ways. Krishna can do that. Krishna can do Jalpa and Vitanda, no problem. And because Krishna is unaffected by these. In fact, Gauranga Mahaprabhu does even when he teaches grammar, he explains the same point from different. Krishna can do that. But in reality, our knowledge is meant for Vada. Vada means you two devotees come together and we are discussing Krishna and we are hearing from other devotee. It's not that just we are speaking all the time.
Mm.
Simply speaking is not a dual conversation. You have to hear from other people and you have to appreciate, you should be able to appreciate that point of view and see what you can take good from that point of view. And if you can add Krishna on top of that and further improve it nicely, and then come to a conclusion, because see, when you speak with devotees, you can have a conversation on a specific topic. Oftentimes we see that when there is fight between people, the main topic of fight gets lost. From one point they jump on to another point, from another point to another point to another point to another point. So there is it becomes a connected fight, and the real point is lost. But when devotees want to discuss, say for example, we are discussing japa, then we are the focus is that japa is a sacrifice. You need to control mind and senses. And every realization you have, every realization Prabhu has, that becomes a proper conversation. A conversation is where the words of the other people may not disturb you. They may agitate you, but they may not disturb you so much. When they
Mm.
disturb you so much, then it becomes a debate, because then you want to counteract. Instead of adding, you want to counteract. So when the conversation becomes from addition, value addition to counteraction, that becomes vitanda. And therefore we are not interested in that. We are only interested in actual conclusive truth that will come out from the conversation. If there is no conclusive truth going to come out of the conversation, and it's not acceptable to the other party, that means that the conversation we were involved in is just vitanda, vivad vitanda. It's not a vad, it's vivad. And therefore we are only interested in vitanda. We are not interested in debates. This is the point.
Mm. Okay, is that the reason, Prabhuji, when very senior devotees like you all, when you take classes, sometimes in like, Bhagavatam classes or Chaitanya Charitamrita classes, when others have question or something tricky, uh, you all try to answer it as much nicely possible with all the pros and cons and angles to that for a tricky question, but you also ask them like, did that satisfy your query? Is this did I answer your query properly? Is that the reason?
Mm.
You again ask them, so that it's a nice proper discussion. Okay.
Yes, it's not a monologue, it's a dialogue.
Mm,
And and also understanding that you may not be able to answer every question. You
mm,
have your own limitation, you are on your own journey, right? So you may
yeah.
not actually have answer to all the questions of all the people. Yeah, if Krishna wants to help you answer some question, you may be able to answer. So it's out of humility, you can always say that, okay, I don't have answer to these questions.
Yeah,
And
because
that is,
yeah, sorry, go ahead, Prabhuji.
no, no, you go ahead.
No, no, that is the thing I first came across when I started
Hmm.
getting into these various sessions, classes, and even chat sessions, or sorry, chanting sessions and all that. That at the end you do ask, like, oh, if I was able to answer your query properly or not. Because why so?
Hmm.
Because when a person like me come from a heavy corporate background, you are given only you're supposed to do this. This is what I told you you're supposed to. They never like kind of that environment is
Yes.
not there. So it's a very welcoming, soothing thing. So you feel less pressure in asking things. It may not be relevant, so
Hmm.
you're
Hmm.
able to openly ask things. It might sound dumb and all, but they say there is nothing dumb. And
Yes.
it helps you even to communicate how you want to ideally conduct and communicate with others. Because this is what I precisely saw when I
Hmm.
came in.
Yes.
So that is the reason I asked.
Wonderful. Yeah, Mataji. See, the whole idea is to actually open a person up to Vada, meaning to open a person up. See, people come from different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
And if some people get triggered, right? The way you present a subject matter, the way you talk, some people even get triggered the way you talk, the voice, the heaviness of your voice, the modulation of your voice. Some people get triggered. Oh, they'll say, oh, he's very rude person, speaks with such heavy voice, has a very commanding voice, right? So every person's, specifically the people who are presenting spiritual topics, there is an etiquette, and there is a way in which a saintly person should behave, a sadhu should behave, or a sadhu should present. See, at the end of the day, we are presenting Krishna, and so we want to become sadhus so that we can actually present Krishna. So, sadhu's voice and sadhu's demeanor and sadhu's way of attaching and conversing and relating with people has to be something which will actually be appealing to their heart and not be agitating. It's a different subject matter that someone is born with a heavy voice. Some people are born with a heavy voice. Some
Yeah.
people are born with a certain personalities. You know, so not all people will get attracted, but some people will get attracted as long as you're getting speaking about Krishna. See, the whole purpose is to open the person in front of you up for vada or actual conversation so that we can reach conclusion.
Mm.
So that conclusion that person has to reach, not you, that person has to come to the, and that conclusion will be Krishna. If we have had a proper vada, if we have had a proper conversation, and proper conversation means actually helping the other hearers, listeners, or conversers to throw away their filters, because everyone comes with a filter. Someone may come into a conversation with a Gyani filter, so they could be very challenging. Someone may come into a conversation not interested so much in a conversation, but actually interested in, so what is the outcome, what is the essence. So they might come with a karmic background. So therefore there is a great responsibility on the heads of speakers. Vyasdev, that because the position is Vyasdev's position, and so the only purpose of the speaker should be to serve as a postman and pray to the Lord so that they can actually speak in the line of disciplic succession, which is pleasing to the hearts of everyone and hopefully purifying at the same time. To be purified and be pleased is very, very difficult combination. In further chapters, in 17th 18th chapter, Krishna says that manha prasada somyatvam monam atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhir iti etat vak mayam tapa uchyate. The austerity of speech is to be soumya, peaceful, calm, to speak pleasing words, but at the same time speak beneficial words. Lord Ramchandra would speak like this: beneficial but pleasing. Sometimes the beneficial words that you have to say is very, very non-pleasing, but you have to present the same difficult thing in a very pleasant manner so that the person can actually appreciate. I'm fallen, look, he's saying right, but he's saying it in a nice fashion. So you have to say it but not hurt other people. But at the same time you don't have to be diplomatic, like you cover coat, you sugar coat. You don't have to do that. And this is where the balance of a speaker has to be. And that balance comes with devotional life. Many years you practice, it becomes an art, it becomes a second nature. You are able to explain extremely complex topics with lot of ease
Mm.
and with alacrity, super clarity to people. Therefore, that kind of conversation is called vada. Otherwise, it becomes vivad, controversy. It becomes vitanda, debate, or it
Mm.
becomes jalpa, presentation of the greatness of the conversers. Both sides are trying to present their greatness. Not necessarily debate, but just presenting the greatness. In all of this, there is no Krishna.
Mm.
Does that make sense, Mataji?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Every
Okay,
line
we
is
take.
so important. So important,
Yes.
every line. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So
When
we
we,
take a break.
yeah,
Yes,
Prabhu,
Prabhu.
when we come back, can you explain to me on the left of your slide you have numbers? I'm assuming they're verse numbers,
Their
but
verse number.
on the right hand side, it doesn't always seem that they correlate to these verse numbers.
Correct. They are just my notes that I'm going to
Ah,
speak about these topics. And they are
okay,
actually relating to these verses, but they are not aligned in the same line with the verse numbers.
okay,
But basically, they are covering each of these verses. Okay.
okay,
So we'll take a 5 to 10 minutes break, 5 minute break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes, which is 12:40 my time.
okay.
Hare Krishna.
Very
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
I'm
Vijay
lis-
Gaurang.
I'm lis- I'm listening.
Okay, super. So we'll resume. Among destroys, Krishna is time, so Krishna also subdues time. I think we finished these things. Among the enterprising and industrious, he is most enterprising and most industrious. So I've not made a lot of points for these remaining verses because they are very self-evident. But something that Prabhupada specifically mentions about enterprising and being industrious. Krishna is saying that among enterprising and being industrious, he's the most enterprising and most industrious. Amongst the Samaveda, Brihad Sama is a very specific. So Samaveda is the one which contains beautiful poems of the all the Vedas. Samaveda is the one which contains beautiful poems, and in those beautiful poems, Brihad Sama is a very beautiful set of sections of poetry. So Krishna is representing that Brihad Sama. The word Brihat means big. And the word Chandasa, so among poetry, Krishna is Gayatri. So Gayatri is a specific poetry, and Gayatri mantra exists. So Krishna mentions that he is the Gayatri mantra. And amongst months, Krishna is Marga Shirsha, which usually, according to English calendar, is generally towards the end of November, beginning of December, like that. Among seasons, Krishna is the flower bearing spring season. So everyone loves spring season, isn't it? Soon it will be here too in the UK. And so, when in this spring season, when we go out, when we enjoy the sun, when we enjoy the weather, when the flowers are, blowing, we can remember Krishna because Krishna is the spring season. Amongst cheaters, Krishna says he is gambling. Meaning, gambling is the worst of all kinds of cheating activities, and therefore, Krishna is saying, that amongst the cheaters, he's the gambling. So even Krishna is the best cheater. Splendid, of anything splendid, you see, that spark of splendor is Krishna, and Krishna is victory. Victory means nothing without morality. So Krishna is also the morality. See, on 38th verse, Krishna has mentioned, victory seekers, I am morality, which means niti. Hmm?
What
So
about Vijay? I thought Vijay means victory.
Vijay also means victory. So victory, victorious, these are like
Yeah.
noun, adjective, and pronouns, and adverbs, right?
Okay.
So victory, Vijay means victory. Um, and here Krishna is using the word victorious. So, that is also Krishna. And similarly, victory seekers, amongst the victory seekers, Krishna is Niti. Niti means morality. So if you have a victory,
Okay.
but victory is without morality, there is no point of victory. It's as good as loss.
Okay.
Those who endeavor, then that effort and adventure is Krishna. In any endeavorance that you undertake, that effort itself is Krishna. Hmm? Of the
Like the
strong,
exam. Like the exam.
like the exam, it's an adventurous thing, right? To give an exam, heart is beating, and you don't know sometimes answers, so it's an adventurous thing. So that is Krishna. And then of the strength, of the strong, Krishna is the strength. So if you see someone really strong, then you should understand that he's been bestowed by Krishna. So you can understand that he's given importance by Krishna, and therefore such person has strength. Amongst the descendants of Vrishni, Krishna is Vasudev. So here, I just wanted to take some time and explain this word Vasudev. You are going to hear this again and again, but you're going to hear the same word in different contexts, and you will rather get confused, because sometimes the word uses Vasudev and sometimes the word uses Vasudev. So
Oh,
Vasudev,
wow.
Vasudev is Krishna's father, and Vasudev is one of the expansions of Krishna. So Krishna expands into Lord Balram, and Balram expands further into Vasudev, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. So four expansions at the top level from Lord Balram. First one of them is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna. So Vasudev there is Krishna's expansion. Here also Krishna is referring to same Vasudev, but actually the reference is to Lord Balram.
So
Okay.
basically, we have to make the distinction between Vasudev and Vasudev.
No, you
That's
have
what
to
you're
make distinction. You have to make distinction between Vasudev. Va means a with almost a silent existence. Vasudev, and you have to make
Mhm.
distinction between Vasudev.
Okay. Okay.
Va and Va. So
Okay.
Vasudev means Krishna, or it could refer to expansion. So it generally refers to expansion of Krishna, but it also refers to Krishna directly. Krishna is oftentimes called Vasudev, because in Vrindavan also he's got this name Vasudev. And Lord Balram is also referred to as Vasudev because he's one of the descendants in in Vrishni line. So all the great personalities, all the expansions of the Lord in the line of Vrishni are called Vasudev. So Vasudev Krishna, like that. So often, yes, Vidisha Mataji.
So, before Bhagavatam or even for these, like we say, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. So,
Yes,
referring to Krishna.
we
Vasu.
are referring to Krishna.
Okay. Vasu. Okay.
Because there, the on top of A you will see a line on top of A when you read that. So here also you'll see on the line number 37, you will see A has got a line, a bar on top. That means it's a long pronunciation, Vasudev, like that. And if there was no bar on top, it's a
Vasudev.
absent pronunciation, yeah, slow, or no, sorry, non-existent pronunciation. So Vasudev, like that.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. So I got confused about this very much in my own journey. So I just wanted to make a note to explain it to you all.
Thank you.
Then there is immediate expansions of. So this we studied about expansions, right? Expansions of the Lord in the previous slides, and at that time I told that there are Swa-amsa expansions, and then I forgot what was the second type of expansion. The second type of expansion is called Vibhinna Amsha, or separated expansion. So personal expansions and separated expansions. Personal expansions of Krishna is Krishna himself, expanding into 16,108 times to be with each of the gopis, like that. So those are Swa-amsha expansions of Krishna. And then Vibhinna Amsha expansions of Krishna also exist, like Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudev. They have a different bodily features and they have different moods, like that. So there are Vibhinna Amsha expansions and there are Swa Amsha expansions. So here then, moving further, is Krishna saying, I'm the strength of the strong. Amongst descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudev. Among Pandavas, I am Arjun. So he's saying this to Arjun, and he's saying that among you all, Arjun, I am you. So that is something very amazing, right? Arjun will feel awestruck and amazed. And then he says, amongst the sages, I am Vyasadev. Vyasadev wrote all of this literature, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So he's saying, I am Vyasa. And amongst the thinkers, I am Ushana. Thinkers means Kavi. Kavis are those who are capable of thinking thoroughly on any subject matter. And I've written Shana, but it was autocorrection, I think, but it means Ushana. Ushana is extremely intelligent and far-reaching, far-seeing politician. So Ushana is actually Shukracharya, and Shukracharya is actually the guru of all the demons. You recently, there was Mahavatar Narsinga movie, like animated movie. There we saw Shukracharya. And Bali Maharaj's guru was also Shukracharya. So Shukracharya is actually representation of Krishna. He's very intelligent and can think through very deeply. Means of suppressing lawlessness, Krishna is danda, or punishment. So, if someone is punishing, then you have to understand that punishment is basically Krishna. So if you're getting punished in life, you can still think of Krishna, even in negative situation. Hmm? Because you have been lawless or you have been unruly, therefore, the punishment is coming. And then among victory seekers, I am Niti, or morality. So victory without morality is a loss. And among secrets, I am silence. So here, morality, Krishna. Among confidential activities, so there are certain confidential activities, right? These confidential activities, like hearing. So when you are hearing, you are doing it for yourself, you're doing it by yourself. Thinking, whatever you're thinking, no one can know. Whatever you hear, only you can know. Whatever you think, you can know. And you can also meditate. So when you are meditating, who you are meditating on, only you know. And similarly, when you are silent, when you are silent, then you're not speaking, so people don't know what you intend, what you mean, or anything about you. So Prabhupada is saying, amongst these four confidential activities of hearing, thinking, meditating, and silence, silence is most important, because by silence one can make progress very quickly. Okay. Now, I am not saying that this hearing, thinking is and meditating is different to Shravanam Kirtanam. Okay. These are just activities, for confidential activities. But what is the process of this age? That is hearing. Hearing, the process of this age is hearing Bhagavad Katha. But these amongst the activities that one performs confidentially, and when they perform, no one else knows that what you are doing. That's why it's called secret. Or what you think, no one can know. What you are wanting to hear, what you are hearing, no one knows. And what you are meditating upon, no one knows. Similarly, when you are silent, no one knows. So Prabhupada is saying that silence is the most important among these confidential activities, and one can make very fast spiritual progress if they learn to be silent. you know in even amongst provoking situations, if you keep silence. And the other day I was giving an example, in while I was doing this Sunday morning class, I was explaining that when I was in my university days, that's when I joined the devotees. I went to the temple, and after I've been in temple for a few weeks, maybe a month or something, I asked my university friend if he also wants to come to the temple. He was also from India, and so he said, "Oh, there is a temple here in Manchester, really?" So, you know, I took him to the temple and he was so devoted, and he fell at the feet of the Lord and he felt so overjoyed, seeing devotees and temple in the middle of Manchester, coming to from India, coming to the West and still finding a temple. And so I was a bit envious that, oh, he's greater than me. I introduced him, I brought him to the temple, but now suddenly, he's very devoted, it seems. And so everyone gave him more attention because he was more devotional. And he also started to chant rounds. I was struggling to chant 2 rounds even after 6 months, but he was chanting already 16 rounds. So within a span of a month or 2 months, he was already chanting 16 rounds. So I was super envious. I'm being honest. When I say envious means I had this feeling of envy. Oh, I brought him to the temple and now everyone's giving him more attention. In that time, I didn't understand, number of rounds is more important. But I was thinking everyone's giving him more attention. He's getting more prasad. People are being very nice to him. And devotees were genuinely appreciative of him actually because he was able to chant 16 rounds. So devotees appreciated him more. So, but I was, very insecure, should I say. And then after 1 year, what happened is, I was still on my 2 rounds, not able to increase my rounds. And my friend, he suddenly one day came to the temple and he said, "Who is Krishna?" I don't think Krishna is God. And suddenly, his something had in his mind and something, it blew up in his mind. And, he was very confused. He was having arguments in the temple with all the devotees that Krishna is not Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is not God. And, I was also there. I was also seeing all of these things. I was also shocked. Of course, I also never considered Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. I thought Lord Ram was the most important Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I thought, people in ISKCON are devotees of Krishna, therefore they are calling Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I also, myself also, I didn't have full faith at that point in time. So after all the things happened, one of the devotees, very senior most devotee in the temple, my mentor, he came to me and he asked me on the same night, "Do you also have some questions like this?" So I kept quiet because I thought in my mind, if I say something that I also don't believe in Krishna like this, they will stop my prasad. They won't feed me on Fridays and Sundays. So I kept quiet. I kept mum. I kept silent. And I kept silent for a long time. So I didn't say anything. And they understood that this person also has doubt, but they understood that this person is being diplomatic. But actually, what happened is I engaged in the process, which means I kept quiet. I had no faith so much, but I continued to do service in the temple and slowly continued to hear Srimad Bhagavad Gita on Friday evenings. So, what happened is by keeping silent, Krishna gave me an opportunity. Otherwise, on that day, if I would have said, "Yes, I also don't believe Krishna, you all are manipulating, concocting, because you're International Society for Krishna Consciousness, not Ram Consciousness. Therefore, you guys are." If I could have said those things, right? But I kept silent. I kept monum. And this silence helped me a lot. After 1 year, I realized everything, and my mentor then told in another class that this boy had doubt, but he kept quiet. He realized it that I had also doubts even at that moment. But he appreciated me after a year, saying that sometimes you have to give yourself some time because evolution takes time. Suddenly overnight one cannot become like a very advanced spiritualist. There has to be a practice, some seva, and constant study, and this, and it has to be done over a period of time. Then these three combinations, seva, sadhana, and sadachar, meaning good behavior, and then time, following this process over a period of time, this gives you sets you for pure devotional service, like that. So keeping silence will help you progress in spiritual life. Oftentimes devotees are fighting here. There is no need to take sides. There is you can be silent. If you are not an active contributor, you can't transform anything, then there is no point of speaking unnecessarily. Similarly, when you see a sannyasi, you are very in great awe and reverence, you like to speak to that sannyasi. It's okay to go and speak to the sannyasis, right? But it's always good to if you have a genuine question, if you have a genuine concern, if you want to genuinely discuss something, then go and ask and have a conversation like that. Hmm? Otherwise, remain silent. It will still bring you lot of peace. By remaining silent, you will actually hear nicely from the sannyasi or from the devotees. And by hearing nicely, then you will have questions. Then you can ask. So sorry. So yeah, so compound letters and oh my god, it's gone way behind. So I'll have to do. So Krishna is punishment, Krishna is morality. Amongst secrets, Krishna is silence. Amongst wise, he is the wisdom. So Krishna is the wisdom of the wise. And then lastly, I said Krishna began with super soul. So Krishna is now inching slowly towards. Krishna is saying that all of the things that exist in the creation, I am the seed, I am the bijam of both the moving and the non-moving. So oftentimes people say that how can God be coming into the material world? Krishna is saying that I am the seed of all the things that exist in the material world. Then Krishna is saying, "Oh, mighty armed conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to is but a mere indication of my infinite opulence." That is unlimited opulence of Krishna. And these are just small things Krishna has mentioned, very small things which Arjun can relate to, and actually normal people can relate to. Yes, Vijay Gaurang Prabhu, you are on mute.
All of these opulences, are they also related to the ones that we've read about? Krishna is the taste of water, the syllable Om in vibration, sound vibration, and the strength of the strong or something, and the ability in man. Those things,
Yes.
these are the same things or not? But
Yes,
are
these are
they?
the same things.
Are there? Is there a difference? Are they the main
No.
ones or no?
No, there is no difference. Krishna is repeating some of these on the behest of Arjun, because and Krishna is making sure that the important ones are repeated again, so people actually remember what is important. This Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita for all people, all ordinary people. So he's repeating certain things to lay importance on them, and he's speaking of very obvious and general things that you can come across in your day-to-day lives. And also some of the things he's mentioned is from the time of Arjuna, like the sages. Of course, we also know that the sages exist, but we don't see them day in and day out, right? The seven sages, but Arjuna's time, they could actually see these sages.
Okay, so the few that I mentioned just now, this is an extension of those, I suppose.
Yes,
These
but some
opulences.
of, some of them you are going to mention, they're going to come in future also. So this is just 10th chapter. There are some more coming in future. That amongst the medicines, I'm the moon gives the medicinal herbs, I give the medicinal herbs, I give the I am Sashi Shurayo, I am the sun, and I am the light of the sun. So Krishna is going to mention some more things because Arjun's requesting them.
Okay, so I'm just trying to see. Yeah, I mean, Krishna is speaking this to Arjun, um, and I'm just trying to see. Do we have to remember all of these?
Completely between you and Krishna, what you want to remember.
I'm just thinking. I mean, they're
if
in
if
the
you if
Bhagavad
you
Gita for
ask
a
me
reason.
if
Hmm.
you ask me, I wouldn't want to forget even a half syllable that Krishna has spoken in Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's just my view. Anything that
Hmm.
Krishna is saying is pristine, is exquisite. It's beyond this material world. It's a transcendental sound vibration. So I want to remember all of it. Unfortunately, I'm not becoming pure enough to remember all of it. But I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I'm praying, and Krishna, by his grace, he is increasing my memory day over day. And if he desires so, if he thinks that I will not become puffed up, and if he thinks that the memory will actually be useful in my service, or if he thinks that with this memory I am actually going to remember Krishna and spend more time with him, then he may give it more and more to me. So it's in,
Yeah,
that's
but
why I said it's between you and Krishna.
of
For
course, of course.
examination, for examination and certificate, you have to remember at least few.
Hmm.
When I first came across the qualities of women, at that time I was about to get married. I was looking for someone to get married. So I was judging everyone by these seven qualities: fame, fortune, speech, memory, fine intelligence. You can't find them in everyone. You can't find such qualities. But I'm saying that because I was going through a life's journey, but I was taking Bhagavad Gita and trying to scan people with that lens. So in the process, maybe I got people with that qualities, maybe I didn't. But what I'm saying is I remember these qualities.
I see.
I remember what Krishna said. That's what matters. What happened in your life is immaterial, because life is a blip, small time. But if you remember anything about the supreme entity who is eternal, infinite, then you're connecting to that eternal time, not just a blip, not just yourself. So my point
I
is,
am. Hmm.
you will go through life's experiences and you will remember Krishna somehow of all of these.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, each person has their own capacity, but I mean, if you have the time in life to remember all of these, then it will come. But with some people, it will go quicker, and some people, it will go slower.
This is it. This is it. Yes, Pidisha
Oh,
Mataji.
Um, yeah, Prabhuji, thank you. The one that you mentioned, right? The seven qualities: fame, fortune, fine speech, memory.
Memory, intelligence, steadfastness. Yes.
Yeah. So that one I forgot to ask you. Those are the female qualities. It kind of resembles today like Lakshmi, Saraswati, or Ma Shakti, Durga. So is there a term that we use that Krishna is the actual Purusha and also he has these female qualities? So it's like kind of something male and female uh, epitome, like something like, is there a term we use?
Not that I know of, but if you have, then please share it with me.
Um, no, I mean, like, I don't know, like I think in one of the classes I came through, like, what is it? Maybe from Keshava Maharaj, from, something about like what is Hinduism, because people think of like only we have these many crores of gods, and
Mhm.
because the word demigod has been coined primarily by Prabhupada to explain the
Yes, yes,
Western
yes.
world, because there is no way to explain them. Uh,
Correct.
So, I forgot like what's that energy, like, just the way people use for Shaivism, Shiva Shakti.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, Shivan Shakti. Yes.
so for Krishna also he used something like that. I don't remember, because these are the three primary goddesses that we
Hmm.
attribute to when it comes to the qualities that you mentioned. The one,
Mhm.
so that is
Yeah,
why.
I don't remember exactly if there is a word, but yeah, these qualities, they are feminine in nature. So in if you study the subject matter, like Hindi, for example, if you've studied
Mm.
Hindi, you told me in the past, right? There is
Yes, yes.
Striling and there is Pulling, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So Striling is some a word which is feminine in nature, and Pulling is word which is masculine in nature, right?
Mm. Yes,
So
Prabhu.
similarly, there are these qualities which are feminine in nature, and there are qualities which are masculine in nature.
Mm.
So you will see masculine qualities in women,
Mm.
and you will see feminine qualities in men.
Yes, Prabhuji.
But they both are qualities. They have been attributed to feminineness because if they're present in the Shakti element of the Lord, of they're present in the energy element of the Lord, then it makes it very beautiful, these qualities.
Yeah,
But
I
that
think
doesn't
that.
mean that man cannot have them.
Yeah, I think that is the right one you said, because why we attribute a say like the word, female for certain qualities and why male. So I think that's the right thing, because we don't say, yes, we do attribute little bit on the Ganesha with the fortune, but when it comes to fortune, everyone will have the shopkeeper
Everyone wants
taking
it.
the yeah, every shopkeeper in India, you would see Lakshmi Mataji's thing and all. So
Yes.
it
Yes.
reminds you, like, you wouldn't see or Lakshmi, Ganesha and Lakshmi like that. And
Mhm.
anyone who is a good singer, good teacher, everyone in India, you would see like Ma Saraswati. When we were kid, we used to have like in Bengali households, you have this Lakshmi Puja and Saraswati Puja,
Mhm.
touching the books, your academic books, and the feet of the goddesses, or keeping your books and all that. So we used to have. So that was a kind of a question, like, why do we attribute that like a kind of, we say female,
Mm.
Is it like, why don't we say like it's one single quality, like something like that, like it goes
Yeah.
everything. So that was
Yeah.
the thing. But yeah, you said it nicely. Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. Hmm.
Thank you, Maji. Just words and the qualities. But of course, the important concept to take is energy and energetic. So, energetic is the Lord, and energy are all of these qualities and, the feminine aspect. So, energy is feminine, energetic is masculine.
Wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you. I'll remember
So,
that. Thank you so
okay.
much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, so then Krishna goes on and says that know that all opulent, beautiful, glorious creations spring but for us from a spark of my splendor. And then he says, what is the need for all of this, Arjun? For this detailed knowledge, you just understand, but by single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. And here in the verse 42, Krishna is referring again to the Paramatma expansions of his, the three Purusha expansions, because these three Purusha expansions, they actually pervade every single atom, Shirodakshai Vishnu specifically. Garbha means womb, which means Garbhodak ocean. So, therefore, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who pervades the entire universe. And similarly, Karano Dakshai Vishnu, Karan means cause. And so, the original cause is this Mahavishnu, who actually first creates all these material universes. Therefore, he's called Mahavishnu or Karano Dakshai Vishnu. So, through these three super souls, Krishna actually expands in all of these universes. So this is what our one of the see here. Auto correction is such a problem. Baldev Vidyabhushan. He's one of the here. I wanted to write Srila Baldev Vidya, but here it is coming serial Baldev Vidyabhushan. So, he's mentioned that Yat Shakti Leshat Suraya Adaya Bhavanti Ati Ugrate Jasaha Yad Amshena Dhritam Vishwam Sa Krishno Dasham Archayate. So he's saying from Lord Krishna's potent energy, even the powerful sun gets its power, and by Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is maintained. So he's mostly mentioning about Lord Surya that you can see, and Paramatma that is actually everywhere in the entire creation. He therefore concludes that Lord Shri Krishna is the only worshipable. So this is the conclusion of this chapter, where Krishna's vibhutis are mentioned, and specifically, the super soul has been mentioned, time has been mentioned twice, like that. Victory has been mentioned number of times, morality has been mentioned. And this point is also mentioned here is to not worship the demigods and worship Krishna as the supreme. So Prabhupada is stressing this. In Padma Puran, it is said that one who considers Lord Krishna in the same category with demigods, be they even Brahma or Shiva, becomes at once atheist. So never consider Krishna in the same categories of demigods. I'll tell you a very vivid example of this. Recently, I think there is on Netflix, there is this series called Krishna, something Kurukshetra or something. So I was seeing one advertisements of it, and in the advertisement I saw Lord Ganesha was there. He had come towards the end of the whole thing, and he was Vyasdev was requesting Ganesha to be present in for the ceremony of Yudhishthir Maharaj, where he was being to be enthroned as the king. And Ganesha in that teleseries, he's saying, what is the need for two bhagwans there? What is the need for two bhagwans there? So he's depicting himself as one bhagwan and Krishna as another bhagwan. And this teleseries was seen by millions and millions of people all across the world. And this is very offensive in nature. Lord Ganesha is Lord. He is Bhagwan, but he is not ultimate Bhagwan. He is not the supreme controller. And Lord Ganesha cannot be in the same category as the supreme Lord Krishna. It is very, very offensive representation of the supreme Lord. And this is unfortunate situation in India. What happens to such people who believe that, okay, Lord Ganesha is at the same level as Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva is the same level as Ganesha? They will become atheist. They become atheists because they think everything is the same. I am also the same. They are also the same. These chemical elements are also the same. They say even start worshipping the matter. They will start to do that, and they will eventually turn into atheistic. So when we as devotees come across such material, if we are not studying Bhagavad Gita, if we are not studying Srimad Bhagavatam, we will not know the subtle differences of how this material world presents the Supreme Lord. So it is, Ganesha is, when you say is Ganesha Bhagwan, my answer is yes and no. Why I say that? Because the word Bhagwan is used to refer to anyone who is powerful, someone who has all opulences, who is very rich, who is very beautiful, who is very strong, like that, who is also very renounced. So that person is called Bhagwan. So in Srimad, but Prabhupada's definition of Bhagwan is very clear. Prabhupada is saying one who is very rich to fullest, one who is beautiful to the fullest, one who is most powerful to the fullest, one who is renunciant to the fullest. So Prabhupada qualifies that if someone has these qualities in completeness, that person should be called Bhagwan. Others can't be called Bhagwan. And for the Westerners to explain, he coined this word demigod, meanings partial God, meanings partial Bhagwan, not full Bhagwan. Okay, but when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see this word Bhagwan is used for Narad Muni. This word Bhagwan is used for other incarnations of the Lord. This word Bhagwan is used more liberally. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, this word has been used liberally because it means that those people for whom this word has been used, Narad Muni and others, they have to very high degree have these qualities of being very powerful, being very beautiful, being very, but it doesn't mean that they are ultimate Bhagwan. So if you go Sanskrit wise, then yes, Ganesha is Bhagwan. But in you go in the meaning wise, in the essential meaning, Lord Ganesha is not Bhagwan. But when a teleseries like this presents Ganesha as equal to Krishna, this is when millions of people see this and they don't have a conception of God. And therefore, you will see in India, people are becoming more materialistic, more atheistic because they don't know God properly from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is very clear who is God, extremely clear. So we have, as devotees, have to be very careful when someone else presents demigods or devatas. So Ganesha is one of the devatas. And even Lord Ganesha, he was very respectful to Vyasadev. Vyasadev is an incarnation of Krishna. And Ganesh ji is not an incarnation of Krishna, but in that teleseries, you know, Vyasadev is shown as secondary to Ganesha. So there is this lot of misconceptions which people see the media presents because no one reads, no one is interested to read, and so they present our characters in very bad light, very bad light. So just wanted to present that we as devotees, we can't take Krishna as equal to any demigod, any devta. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and that's how we should consider him. And this chapter essential focus is on bhakti, verses 8 to 11. Please, please, I beg you, memorize them. They will give you great joy in your life. And without bhakti, devotee is like a fish out of water. With that, we will conclude this chapter. And then we still have few minutes left. If you don't have any questions, then I would like to go to the next chapter, unless you have something suggestion or something to
You
discuss.
mentioned, I'm sorry, but you mentioned at the beginning that we would be reciting verses. What did I misunderstand?
I wanted to go into the 11th chapter and start 11th chapter with you all reciting every single verse and then going into verse by verse.
Okay.
But we didn't manage to start chapter 11 yet. So let me just show you. So here is the universal form of This chapter is called the universal form of the Lord, and these are glories given by Lord Shiva. We'll do that in a moment. These are different sections of this chapter. Um, and you will see here I have not put any slides for each of these sections. The reason I have not put these slides is because I just wanted to go and share the screen Veda base and go and get it recited by you all so that you become
Okay.
comfortable reciting Sanskrit. And when you recite Sanskrit and when I hear Sanskrit, I also get purified because I can hear the direct sound vibrations of the Lord. So the idea
Yeah.
was to
The most difficult words I have trouble with are the long words.
the long words.
Or, yeah, or if I'm hearing a verse and not being able to figure out if it's two words or three words because of the way the words are connected,
Presented
you
together.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
same with me. Same with
but
me. I had a
I'm happy to recite, and Vidisha also probably.
yes, yes.
When I look at it, I try to recite, as you said, Vijay Gauranga Prabhu. Also, I have difficulties with long, elongated compound words. But as a part of Vamsidhari Prabhuji, you would know, like in Dharmendra Prabhuji's Bhagavatam class, I'm part of that. So every Tuesday,
Oh,
he
okay.
allots who will recite which verses. So
Yes.
not every Tuesday goes well, but I'm
Hmm.
required to practice. So that prompts me to practice and
Well done.
hear.
Well done.
Mataji, can I make a suggestion?
Yes, please.
I did it here in the temple as well. I know someone here that is very good at reciting verses. I asked him to record some verses for me, and he
Oh,
did it really nicely. And he did um, each line, and between each line, he left a few seconds for me to copy the line, and then
ah,
he did the next line, and then the next, and then the next, and that helped me a lot, really.
Hmm.
wonderful.
Hmm.
I don't know what the tutor thinks of this. I'm
No,
going to get punished
memorizing
now.
is hard. Memorizing is hard, but because we do Mangalacharan like a little bit more regularly, so you remember it. And sometimes certain words you might forget, but you remember most of it. But like same thing with the closing prayers or certain lines of Aparachodhana. But when it comes to these memorization of slokas, because you're not reciting it every day, I feel like if I read it every four, say for example, 4 or 5 slokas every day, for a month, yes, I'll remember. But because I'm not investing that much time to this, it is also not retaining. And of course, I need Krishna's blessing.
Yeah.
I always tell him, okay, just help me with the way you will be happy. So you
Hmm.
need to bring me, pull me up. I know, otherwise there is no way I can please you. I'm
There
trying.
is a there is two things, Mataji. Underwear and then mercy. This is the thing. Krishna is willing to help so much the moment he sees some underwear. So that is our problem, right? This is the problem on our side. Laya means laziness, and also there are problems in life, right? Busyness of life and material busyness. But till the time you start to make underwear in your life, that till that point in time, Krishna is waiting for you, just like he was waiting for Draupadi to call him out. You have to make an endeavor of at least taking his name Govinda.
Mm.
The moment she said go, she hadn't even completed the whole word. Krishna was there for help already. So, we have to make some small endeavor from our side. Even that is, it begins very small. It has to begin very small. That is non-pinching. And Krishna enters like a needle, comes out like an elephant. That is
Yes.
Krishna.
So,
That is
Prabhu,
Krishna.
we could do a couple of verses now, can't we, for both of us?
Yes,
If you have time.
the idea is let's start with the first verse.
Yeah, even just one verse, at least something.
Exactly, exactly. This is a very good point and very good suggestion. Let me just do this now. So let me share my screen and stop sharing this screen and share another screen. And I want to share this window. and to go to Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 8th, sorry, not 8th chapter, sorry, 11th chapter, and text 1. So, Prabhu, do you want to go ahead?
I don't mind, but Bidisha, you're also welcome. Really, it makes no difference to me.
We will take turns, all of us. So, first you, then Bidesha Mataji, then myself.
And this is difficult because these are 5 lines.
The first one is Arjuna said.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead,
can.
Prabhu.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. You don't need to highlight it, otherwise I can't read it properly.
Okay.
Yeah. Arjuna Uvacha Mad Anugrahaya Paramam. Okay, but I'm used to singing it, and
That's good. Reading is also good. Whichever
Arjuna
you prefer.
Mad Anugrahaya Paramam Guyam Ajatma. No, wait a minute. Guyam Ajatma Sam Nitamam. Oh, that's a difficult one. Nitamam
Samagnitam. Samagnitam.
Samagnitam.
Hmm.
Yat Tvayoktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vigato Mama.
I'm very, very pleased. I'm very, very pleased because you read it slowly. That is the secret.
Okay.
Slowly. There is no rush. You can the more you slow you go, the more fast you become. This is the
And
secret.
how do you pronounce the second line?
Tvayoktam. Tvaya uktam. See this word tvaya, this
No,
one here,
before
and
that.
then
After Arjuna Uvacha Mad Anugrahaya Paramam.
paramam. Mad anugrahaya paramam. See
Mad
the
Anugrahaya. Yeah.
words are combined words. One is anu,
Madunagrahaya.
and then there is grahaya, but they are combined words. And then paramam. See the combined word, the difficult word is tvaya uktam. So this one tvaya uktam actually is 2 words. Tvaya, by you, uktam, said. See, uktam said. But these 2 words are combined, so they become tvayoktam. Tvaya uktam, tvayoktam.
Tvayoktam.
So, but I to begin with, I start reciting them separated. It becomes easy for me. So I would have read
Okay.
this yat tvaya uktam. This is how I would say it. Instead of saying tvaya uktam, I would have said it yat tvaya uktam vachastena moho ayam vigato mama.
See, you're
And
singing it.
I always sing.
Yeah. Singing is much easier.
No, the reason I sing is because in spiritual world, every word is a song. Every step is a dance. So
Okay.
Bhagavad Gita is
The reason
spiritual
I
world.
sing is, and the reason I sing it's because it's easier to remember and
Yes,
to get a rhythm.
rhythm. Yes, but essentially, these scriptures, they are a window into spiritual world. And so in spiritual world, these are direct windows into spiritual world, all activities of the Lord. So actually, when you're connecting with the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord, what is he doing? He's singing, he's speaking, he's dancing like that. So all these shlokas, they are on specific meters, and they are songs actually. That's why it's called Song of God.
Okay. I want Vidisha also to have a chance. I don't want to take away
Yes,
all the
let's
fun.
just do the first 4 verses. So before we go on further, Arjuna said, "By hearing the instructions, you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects. My illusion has now been dispelled." So it's very evident. Arjuna is just saying, "My illusion is now dispelled." Bidisha Mataji.
Oh, yes. भावाप्यायो हि भूतनं श्रुतौ विस्तरशो मया त्वत् त्वतः कमलपत्रक्षा महात्म्यम् अपि च व्ययम्.
Beautiful. Can you also read English?
Yes, Prabhuji. Um, O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories.
Okay, so here Krishna is, Arjuna is using a very beautiful word which is full of love and devotion. Kamala Patra Aksha. Kamala means lotus, Patra means leaf, Aksha means eyes. Aksha, so there I'm breaking these words because this will be repetition for you in Bhagavatam, in other places. This is constant repetition. Aksha, the word Aksha is constant repetition. Patra, means leaf, and Kamala means lotus leaf. So he's calling the Lord lotus eyed one. It's a very beautiful way of referring to Krishna. And therefore, Krishna is also called Arvinda Aksha. Arvinda means again lotus, Aksha means eyes. So the lotus eyed one. Hmm? And then the third one, एवम् एतद्यथा तत्त्वम् आत्मानं परमेश्वर द्रष्टुम् इच्छामि ते रूपम् ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तम. Evam, thus, etat, this, yatha, as it is, attha, have spoken, tvam, you, atmanam, yourself, parama ishvara, O Supreme Lord, drashtum, to see. This word drashtum is again very important because you will see a variation of the same word drashta, drashtum, drishtami, drishti, all of these words, they have a same root drisht, to see. Ichhami, I wish. Te, your rupam, form. Aishwaram, divine. Purushottama, O best of the personalities. So here, O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. So, here literally Arjun is asking Krishna again to show his universal form. Otherwise, Krishna wouldn't have shown his universal form, he wouldn't have shown the universal form. And then, Prabhu, can you read this?
Yes. Manyase yadi tak. Oh, not like that. Yeah. Manyase yadi tak chakyam maya drastum iti prabho yogeshvara tato me tvam darshayat manam avyayam. Manyase, you think, yadi, if, tat, that, shakyam, is able, maya, by me, drashtum, to be seen, iti, thus, prabho, O Lord, yoga ishvara, no, yoga, yoga ishvara, or do I have to pronounce it differently? Yoga ishvara.
Yeah, do pronounce it differently, separately, so you will retain it in your mind much better. Retention is
Okay.
better.
Yoga ishvara, O Lord of all mystic power, tataha, then, me, unto me, tvam, you, darshaya, go, at, atmanam, yourself, avyayam, eternal. Oh, if you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I will just have a brief discussion on this first four verses and then we'll stop for the day. So here Arjun is already surrendered to the Lord, but he's made a request of the Lord. And he is not demanding the Lord. He's making a request. He's saying, if I am able to see it, if you are kind enough, then you show me. And he specifically asked for the universal form of the Lord. Why he asked for the universal form of the Lord? Because in future there will be many people who will become gods or who will claim that they are gods, and this has happened in Hinduism time after time after time. Every now and then there is a cult where someone comes and they claim that they are god, and they give their own mantras. Jai XYZ Narayan, Jai this and Jai that. They will just give some concocted mantras which are not even there in the Vedic literatures, right? And they will claim that they are god. So here Arjuna is explaining that if someone has to claim God, they must show universal form. They must show the universal form to everyone. They must be able to see this universal form was not just seen by Arjuna. This form was seen by Sanjaya, who is actually originally speaking to Dhritarashtra. He is actually telling Dhritarashtra about this whole battlefield. So by mercy of Krishna, this form was seen by two people, two different people in very different places, separated by miles and miles. And their both of their realization is mentioned in this chapter. So this is the reason Arjun is asking for people of the future, for Krishna to show his universal form. And also Arjun wants that all kinds of people be attracted to Krishna, even the Mayavadis, even those people who believe in impersonalism, or ekatvena prithakwena. In previous chapter we came across these words, ekatvena, that Lord is one, and prithaktvena means in his universal form. So Krishna was explaining Arjuna about universal form. So now Arjuna is specifically asking to see this universal form, but the way he is asking is not demanding. He is basically begging, requesting the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada is mentioning in these purports that one cannot demand God to show himself. But if someone is a devotee of the Lord, then Lord is very happy to fulfill the desires of the devotee of the Lord. So with these 2 points, I'll stop and we will resume chapter 11. And thank you so much for reciting. You both were fabulous in reciting it. I loved it. And we will follow the same pattern in the coming sessions. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for it.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Namaha.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Bol, Prabhuji. Hare Bol.
Hare Bol Mataji.